The year is 1938, and the radium-fueled rockets of Earth have reached the furthest stretches of the solar system. We're living in a world where the heroes of Earth, Tesla and Einstein, completed the first manned mission to Mars and discovered that the Earth is not alone. Intelligent life can be found all around this burning sun of ours, in the jungles of Venus, the desert wastes of Mars, the many moons of Jupiter, and of course, the Belt. The intelligent creatures of the solar system, called sophonts, move about the solar system on jet streams of radium, colonize new lands, open new trade routes, and make war. All of these species interact with the 5 great spacefaring nations of Earth, the Empire of Japan, the USSR, Nazi Germany, the United Kingdom, and of course, the good old US of A. Thanks for tuning in today to your favorite radio station, WLPGWV 1335 AM Coast to Coast. We'll be back after this short commercial break.
Hey there, Internets. Welcome to Let's Play Games West Virginia. I'm Kevin.
I'm Richard.
Terry. Heather.
And we're here to play some Rocket Age 5e. So if you're used to Dungeons & Dragons, this is basically a modified version. Rocket Age is a really interesting setting. It takes place in an alternative 1938, and we're really excited to share that with you. We got a chance to play this year at Gen Con, and we really liked it so much we went and bought the setting book, and just a few months later, here we are sharing it with you. So the idea is it's 1938. Einstein and Tesla have worked together in the past, in 1931, and went to the first manned mission of Mars, where we discovered that we are not the only creatures in the solar system. So it's 1938, populated by diverse alien species, all competing and working together and against each other for various things. And we are some of those creatures. And our system is going to be a slight variance on that. We've introduced a few new things to the setting to kind of make it ours. So our session opens up starting out on IDA, which is the Interplanetary Development Agency Astro Station. So our group here is called the CAD Agency, which is a former military unit now privatized under the Multi-Party System Resource Pact. So we are operating on the largest astro station, the only astro station in the area. We're located between Mars and the Belt, and is basically a place to send passengers, cargo, information, equipment down the gravity well towards the inner planets or up out. And it's located in that key junction point, so it can sort of spin up and spin down cargo. And it's basically the pit stop that everyone has to make if they're moving about the system past the Belt. So that's where we find ourselves, home at IDA. It's been a long week, obviously. Our group works with the CAD Agency. This is kind of a new unit. Typically, it was run by a Soviet and Reich pact, but it's since been expanded. It's now a multi-party base. So there's a lot more other non-human sophonts present on the system. So this is a particular unit inside CAD made up of sophonts from around the system who can maybe go places and get access that an entire squad of just Earthlings might not. And that's what we have with us today. If you guys would like to go around the table, we'll start with Richard and go clockwise. Give us a quick introduction for your character, maybe a snippet of your backstory, and we'll get started.
All right. Right. My name is 835, ZD835. My first recent memories are of the archaeologists that found me in those ruins on Mars. They stumbled upon me in what looked like an escape pod from a ship created by a long-dead civilization and started pushing glowing hieroglyphs they found. Zap! They almost got themselves vaporized as I came to and leveled my ray pistol at them. I guess I was programmed for security or combat maybe? I don't know for sure. But it seemed like I should have shot them. They convinced me they were legitimate scientists from some university on Earth, studying ancient Martian ruins. Something must have happened to my programming in my years, decades, centuries, of slumber, because I believe their cockamamie story. I helped them loot that place of every piece of scrap that looked like it could be powered up. My enhanced senses made it easy. I could see things they couldn't, hear things well beyond their threshold, and taste, well, you can probably figure it out. We were caught by some agents from the Wolfgang and Long Detective Agency as we loaded the last piece into their half-track, headed back to who knows where. It turned out 2 of them had been looting ruins for some time, and some Martian royalty got sick of it and hired the biggest detective agency in the solar system to stop them. The agents thought I was Martian at first, naked and covered in red dust. When they looked more closely, they could tell my features weren't quite right, more like a doll maker's approximation of a Martian. They were intrigued by me, gave me some clothes, and took me with them back to the skydocks above Jupiter, instead of turning me in with the 2 looters. That began my career with Wolfgang and Long. I was obsessed with being a spy, bought every spy novel I could find with my meager salary, and read and reread all of them. I was good at my job, but working with the WLDA wasn't exactly exciting. Everything was so corporate, so by the book. What's so wrong with breaking the rules every now and then? Anyway, after 10 years, I left in search of a life more akin to one of my beloved spy novels. I ended up at the Ida Astro Station working for CAD with a bunch of fellow misfits. We get a lot of boring jobs, but every now and then we get the chance to do something really exciting. My memory must have been wiped before I was put into stasis, but I have bits and pieces of my ancient memory. I've been looking for someone to help me restore it, but there's a severe lack of experts on robo-brains anywhere in the solar system. That's led me to look for my own answers, which I'm convinced lie with the technology of the ancient Martians.
Awesome. So Robomen are basically sentient robots?
Basically.
Awesome. How does your character look like? Like what do people see when he walks into a room?
Approximately Martian, bipedal, 2 arms, like a close approximation of a biological face. It's plastic covered. If you look close enough, you can tell that it's panel put together, but it's from a distance with clothes on, pretty much passable as a humanoid creature.
Cool. Heather, who are you playing today?
Oh, me. Oh, well, I was expecting you to go next.
You want me to go?
No, it's fine. So I am Vex. I am an Iowite, meaning my home planet is Io, and I am this tall, spindly, kind of dog-like creature, but I look a little mangy, right? I have some hair that's missing, but for the most part, I look fairly presentable in terms of your average spacefaring citizen. So for the most part, I am found to be in my overalls conducting science experiments. I am in the lab oftentimes, but sometimes I'll go out in the field. So for the most part, you will find me with my glasses on and my spindly dog hair up and out of my face. And I will be working for the CAD agency, or as I call the agency, because, well, my home planet is barren. My people have mostly been dispersed across the planetary system, and so my people are in diaspora, which means then that I am free to go about my own leisure. So I decided to team up with this CAD agency on the Astro Station, and I feel like I need to fix my home planet. I'm not really sure what all of the mutations are yet, but I know that my people are in serious pain. So I have this drive to go find them and fix my home planet so I can get back home. For now, my real incentive, though, that's the long game. For now, my incentive is to find the jerks who destroyed my planet. And I know that, history books tell us what happened there, but I want to find personally who's responsible and find some scientific way to make them, well, you know how it goes. So for now, I am at the Ida station for basically safe harbor, rent, and a job to keep me eating because I'm real hungry. And, the jobs are better than at home. So that's where I am.
Since home is a radioactive wasteland.
Home is a radioactive wasteland, and I can't find kimchi worth a darn at home. I like that weird food.
Sweet.
Turn?
Yep, up to you.
Hello, dolls. The name is Daisy May, former Delandry courtesan turned rocket ranger, deputy ranger, whatever. My former and generous master, Jadazarol, uncle to Princess Delorna, sadly passed away of an illness. As his favorite, I was granted my freedom and chose to journey to Earth in search of meaning. I guess you could consider me an explorer of sorts. While I was talented as a courtesan, I never really cared for the lifestyle. I always dreamed of seeing the worlds beyond Mars. When the Earthlings made it to Mars, I was so curious about their ways, particularly the strong and adventurous rocket rangers. Since a deputy ranger is the only path for a non-Earthling, I spent time on Earth in various schools and worked my way up with my starting job as a secretary to various captains until I graduated from Ranger School. It can be hard as a Martian to find work on Earth outside of military installations, so here I am, working for the CAD agency on Ida, the Astro Station. I'm secretly hoping to be able to save other courtesans like myself, looking for greater service than the Sulfuri, if that's what they want, of course. I'm pretty persuasive when I want to be, and as a former courtesan, doing the best job I can is important to me. With a little style, of course.
Awesome. So our scene opens up on Ida. It's the end of a long day and a long week. Recently, it's pretty typical for lots of people to go out to this interesting kind of cafe after work, and it is called the Jabberwocky Bistro and Astro Bar. It's kind of a cop bar. So the system after the station was kind of privatized, sort of. All of these things moved around. So it was originally a bistro run by the Soviets, and since has been kind of moved a little bit. So it's kind of this cop bar mentality. Almost everyone on the station formerly was associated with the military, or currently still is, who isn't just a passer through. So it has that feel of a cop bar. Who would be the most likely to stay after work on a Friday?
Do they have food there?
At work?
Oh.
The Astro Bar, yeah, definitely.
Sorry, I thought you meant the Astro Bar. I'm definitely staying there if they've got food.
I would definitely be staying after work.
Cool. So we're going to pull you aside a little bit, and we'll come back to that secondly. But so you guys are going to head up over to the Astro Bar, kind of get a table, get set up, and you guys typically meet there, but Zed is running a little bit behind. So you guys make your way to the Astro Bar. It's not a long walk. The system is kind of windy. The station is set up in a series of rings, and there's kind of the central hub is the flight deck and cargo hold. The way that the station works is it rotates to produce an artificial gravity. So the hub is where there's the least gravity, and they actually call it the flywheel because they can detach it from the other rings and make it totally zero G, or they can spin it slowly. So that's the easiest place for ships and cargo to come in and out. The second ring is kind of the commercial area, and that's sort of the more privatized, and the outside is personnel quarters and some offices. So you guys are heading into the second ring from the third ring, heading over to the Astro Bar. If you guys want to find a table and maybe talk about the week, let us know how things have been.
Sorry, still writing. I'm a compulsive note taker. As is my science background, I like to have notes on everything. So let me just finish up those notes, and then I will be ready for some food at this bar.
Okay, Rexy baby.
It's Vax.
I like to have nicknames for everyone. And this is my Rex.
Oh, it's Vax.
Okay. That was a long week at work, huh?
Oh my gosh, was it a long week?
I was finding things and doing a lot of paper pushing this week. I hate paper pushing.
Yeah, I really wish we had been out on the field this week, but it seems like we were doing all of the catch-up, the ketchup and mustard, as I like to call it, catching up on the week. I really would have preferred to be in the lab, but for some reason our boss, not saying any names, just wants us to do paperwork after paperwork.
I just want to see things.
I know. I want to see things and test things.
I want to be where the people are.
I've heard that somewhere. She might have had a fin.
Is that the beginning of a musical intro?
I want to be where the kimchi is.
So speaking of the boss, we're going to pivot back to Zed. So the boss happens to be Lily Vexler. And Lily is your current boss. And on your way out, as you're pulling up, she pulls up and she goes, excuse me, Zed, this couldn't go out over the radio, so I just needed to pull you aside. I have a new assignment for you, but it needs
something exciting.
In an unfortunate sort, yes. I need you to kind of keep this on the down low, no radio traffic. So I'll give you a chance to look over at this. Here's your assignment, and you're also going to. It comes from a high source. It's a confidential client. If you need to speak with that client, come back. But it also comes with a full station search warrant, excluding a few areas. So, should you need it, feel free to make use of that.
Excellent.
It has some specific areas that are noted where you can start. The only thing that's excluded are personal quarters that aren't included. So while Richard looks over that, I will kind of sum up for you guys. You can pass that around and look at it. Basically, they're a confidential client who is high up in the military of the station, was expecting a shipment, and that shipment has gone missing. So your task is to find the shipment of goods. What the shipment is kind of immaterial, but it's missing, and there's a few places that they suggest that you start. So once Richard gets caught up on that, he can meet up with you at the Astro Bar, and you can discuss the case ahead.
Oh, the paperwork.
I have a hand cramp.
A hand cramp. You know, you could just use your other hand.
Well, I like this one better.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have other paws, but they're not too helpful usually, so.
Have you grown that extra one yet?
I have not grown that extra one yet. My mutation has gone off the radar so far, and,
Esteemed colleagues,
Oh!
we have a job!
It's Sparky.
Hey!
I don't know how exciting it's going to be, but we got to find some missing stuff.
Sup, C3PO?
Oh my.
What is this? Give us the goods.
Oh man, the best part? Warrantless searches. It's going to be so great.
Warrantless search?
So apparently there's a shipment missing. We got to find it.
Okay, tell me more.
You got it right there.
We got it right there. Yeah, but you could just tell us. Alright. Multi-part system. Execute warrantless searches. Business, shipping decks, and public areas.
And it's classified.
So we have to get a warrant if we want to go to their personal quarters.
Done. Oh wait, a personal
Quarters, yeah.
Oh.
Which means if they're holding a shipment inside their personal quarters, somebody would probably have seen that, right?
Yes.
Just thinking ahead.
There might be personal quarters specifically listed on the warrant.
All right.
So it
Oh,
says
the
that we
personal
need to
quarters of
speak with
one.
the director for more information on the client.
Oh, we are permitted to search the quarters of one Brzantak of Europa.
Okay then.
They want
I
us
don't know
to
where he
look
lives.
at maybe the bridge, the cargo decks, and Azakia, and
Izakaya? Azakaya?
that sounds like a physical name.
Yeah, sure does.
Izakaya Ida is the most popular sushi and Japanese restaurant currently in the ring.
Oh, I'll check there.
You should have known about that.
I should check there.
You shouldn't let her go alone.
We shouldn't split up the party.
Yeah, that's true. We should all go together. Maybe we go a little bit early and just stake the place out, you know? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe we look there first for Rex.
Do any of you guys carry a radio?
Do I carry?
I do not.
Let's see. My gear.
That is a negatory.
I have a handheld radio.
Oh, like look at that.
Ching!
All of a sudden you hear a like squelching feedback loop
Ooh!
coming from your radio, and you can actually hear it from several radios at the Astro Bar, and all of a sudden the lights flicker in the Astro Bar, and you see some tall dark shapes moving quickly in the main hallway outside of the bar.
Alright, I'm gonna ratchet that down. Did y'all see that?
I have
I
my
did.
ray pistol at my side. I know it.
Yeah, what would your typical reaction be to someone running through the station?
Grab him.
Let's go see where they're going.
I'll follow.
I'm right there with you.
So you guys spill out into the hallway, and the creatures are running. So if you're intending to keep up, you have to take off as well,
Okay.
because
I'm running.
you're quickly going
I'm
to lose
running.
them.
Stop! Stop! You need to stop.
I'm following. Just slowly behind.
Do any of you, who wants to roll a perception check?
That is moi.
Investigation or perception?
Perception here. Roll at disadvantage because the lights are flickering.
Oh.
There's problems with the electricity. So roll at disadvantage.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's a 7.
12.
19.
Anyone with 12 of higher, it looks
Hey.
like a group of maybe 5 Venusians It's kind of hard to tell. They're large figures, but has the general trend of Venusians, but you're not sure. And they are hauling through the station. And it kind of looks like they might actually be carrying something between them.
Can I do an investigation check with my enhanced sight? I have advantage.
Sure.
Can I shoot my pistol once you're done?
Oh, that would be a 26. It's a nat 20.
So kind of squaring a little bit. You're like, those are definitely Venusians. Definitely looks like Venusians. So you're going to go ahead and get one surprise action since you're going to pull that off, and then we're going to go ahead and roll initiative.
How close are we to them?
Probably about 35 yards.
Okay.
All right.
105 feet.
I'm gonna shoot my pistol at them because I don't like what they're carrying. As in, I see them carrying stuff, and I wonder what
Could
that
be our
is.
stuff.
It could be our stuff. It could be the stuff we're curious about.
So go ahead and make an attack roll with your ray pistol.
She's a shoot
Alright.
first and ask questions later.
Oh my god, that's a nat 1. What do I add to that again? That was,
It doesn't matter.
yeah, no, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it looks like it would be a plus 1 for
I
you.
feel like it singed your hair.
So, a 2.
So, this is a good time to mention, everyone starts off with 1 inspiration point. Inspiration can be used for a couple of things. You can use it to gain advantage on a skill check, which is basically a reroll. And there's a few other things. Rocket Age made some specific changes to the way inspiration works. So we can look at it a little bit more if we're interested in it.
Yeah, so that inspiration, I would like to go ahead and use that. And
Go
roll
ahead
again.
Roll at advantage then.
Roll at advantage.
No,
Well,
this will be your advantage.
oh, okay, that was a natural 19.
Cool.
So that's what's up.
So modified 20.
Modified 20.
Thanks. Much better.
So
Yeah,
you
much
take.
better.
So as these creatures are running, they're running so that they're going to kind of give them a bonus to their AC.
Okay.
So 20 just barely wings one of them,
Ooh.
and it kind of singes on the outside. But now they're aware that you're here. So 2 of them continue to run on. 3 of them stop and face you. So I'm going to go ahead and switch and pull up some dice real quick just so we can have a general look at how things are set up. So this is kind of a narrow hallway. We're going to make use of some D10s here. So that's the current section of hallway. We've got 3 apparent Venusians at this location.
I guess I'm kind of like the Chihuahua, you know.
I'm just gonna go
I get everybody
clockwise.
riled up and then I
Richard,
hide.
you're number 1. Heather, you're number 2. Terry, number 3. If you guys want to go ahead and change your position, or let me know how you're set up.
She just shot. What's your speed? What are your speeds?
I think that we're all like I'm 30.
30 is pretty standard for medium creatures.
Okay, that's pretty decent. We'd just be booking it down the hall, so
Eh.
that works.
I mean, I would figure you'd be faster than me.
I would think so, but
So everyone, let's roll initiative.
Yeah,
Guys.
I mean,
no way.
I rolled a 22, a 20
No way.
with my dex.
You add dex to it.
10.
23.
Terry, what's your roll?
14.
Do you have advantage on initiative rolls because of your class?
An advantage on survival rolls.
Okay, I thought it was for your class as well. You said 14? Heather, what did you say?
10.
All right, Richard. So how does Zed begin combat? He gets to go first.
All right, I'm gonna pull out my ray rifle
Mhm.
and level it at the Venusians.
They're numbered 1, 2, and 7 because apparently I can't count.
I'm gonna level it at Venusian number 1.
Okay.
Which one did I hit earlier?
You singed number 2.
Number
which
2.
means no significant. Number 2.
Who do you
Holy
work for?
crap! This is on fire. That's a nat 20.
Drop a mic, Richard.
1d10.
Not that one though.
Yeah, don't drop that one. That's
There's
pretty
a
heavy.
lot of time on that one.
Oh, there you go. All right, so radiation ray rifle is 1d10 radiation. That is a 5.
Since it's you can roll 2 damage dice.
Oh
Since
shit!
it's a critical.
Look at that. Okay, I'll leave that. 9.
All right. Awesome. So describe how that critical hit happens.
So I level out like the guy. He just turned around. And is it the one that you singed?
I singed number 2.
I used number 2. Okay. So I level it at him, and he just as he turns around and like starts to reach for a weapon, like it just blasts him right in the shoulder, and he just goes flying.
So the blast hits him, goes to his shoulder, it turns him. He hits the ground. There's like a little poof of dust, and he does not get back up.
Woo!
Wow.
He is down.
And stay down.
See you others. Take note.
All right, so it is now the Venusian's turn. Number 1 is down and out for the count.
Bye.
So we will replace him with
Bye.
a dead creature marker. So number 2 is going to go ahead and partial up here. He also has a ray pistol, and he is going to take aim at clearly the most dangerous person here, which would be Richard, and take an aim at you. Does a 14 hit?
No, it does not hit. So
All right, so he takes aim at you with the ray pistol, and it narrowly misses. So like you definitely feel the singe as it goes by. When you roll it over so it says 3, it's going to drive me nuts.
yes.
Thank you.
Not number 7.
Number 3 is also going to then turn and take an aim at Vax, who has also been an aggressive actor.
Oh no!
Does a 16 hit you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Right.
Sure does.
Oh, you lucked out. Take 2 points of damage.
Whew. That's still a lot of my meager sum.
All right, next on the initiative tree is Terry.
Time to counterattack.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna go after 2, since he's the one that's attacking everybody, right?
Mhm.
So I have my ray pistol ready, and I'm going to shoot. Nah, it's a bummer.
You have inspiration.
I'm gonna.
What is it?
There's a 1.
Oh, okay.
That's bad. An 8
Plus?
plus what? Proficiency?
It should be whatever your attack modifier is in the center of your page next to your weapons.
Plus 3. 11.
11 is not going to hit this guy.
Bummer.
So
Bummer.
Sorry, you wasted your
you're
inspiration.
close. So he's a little uncomfortable because it was like, oh man, that was closer than he thought it was going to be.
How was that again? Okay.
I mean, they're Venusians, so they all kind of sound like that.
Hey, that's racist.
That's Venusianist.
Okay. Oh, I can't do that now.
That's Planetus?
Never mind.
Anyway.
So Heather, how does Vax respond?
Well, Vax is gonna pull a quick one, shoot her disintegration pistol yet again,
Nice.
and then quickly move out of the way.
Okay, go ahead and move your marker to where you're going to.
Alright, so that's 5, 10. Just gonna move behind her over here. But, of course, I'm gonna do that, like, ninja style and, like, pew pew, and then jump out of the way. So,
Shoot and roll.
shoot and roll. That means, ooh, that is a 19.
Nice.
That's going to hit.
19 to hit, which means then that's a D6.
Which one are you attacking? Number 2?
Yep, number 2.
Okay.
Number 2.
Attack that number 2.
5 damage.
Awesome.
And that's acid damage.
Okay.
What's up?
So as your disintegration pistol shoots out, you can see that it hits him, and he winces, and you can see like the pain as he takes a step. But he takes a breath, and he's ready back for the fight.
Ah, that sucker.
So we're going to roll initiative every round, so everyone go ahead and redo their initiative.
Alright.
Ooh,
Oh, that's not
nat
as
20!
good.
Cool.
Nice.
25 to 20?
21.
What do we add to it?
Your
Your
initiative bonus.
yeah.
It's your dex modifier usually.
dex
Plus 3.
modifier.
You got plus 3.
Yeah.
15 to 20. 10 to 15. 5 to 10.
8.
Oh yeah.
Wait, I totally have forgotten
1
all
to 5.
fifth edition.
5.
Is it your proficiency bonus or your dex modifier?
It's your dex
It's
modifier.
your dex
Okay, cool.
modifier.
Alright, then it's 1.
But it has its own little chart for initiative bonus, so you can just fill it in.
Yeah, where's that?
Right up by your arm class.
I will do that because I will constantly forget.
Yo.
Sorry, y'all.
So even though she just acted, Vax is ready to follow up for the next bit. So how does Vax respond to the unfolding combat?
Well, I'm gonna peek out over her shoulders and pew pew yet again.
Same one.
Same one. Oh,
Number 2.
number 2. But I got a number 1, so that's not happening. So I'm just gonna cool off my jets and
You rolled a natural 1.
nat
Do
1.
you have other dice?
She did.
So
I should get another.
describe how disintegration pistols work. Like, what are they normally, since it's acid damage?
Well, so the acid basically erodes them away. So it should begin to like singe in the initial stages, like their clothing and such, and then once it gets to their skin level, right?
Does it take charges, or how does it run?
Well, as far as I know,
Like ray pistols take batteries, for instance.
right. So this is more. I forget what page that is. Equipment. My guess is that it's not bullets. But
So what's going to happen with your natural 1 is that the pistol is going to begin to leak a little bit of damage. Basically, it breaks.
disintegration pistol.
That's what the 1 is going to represent, and do 1 point of acid damage to yourself.
Disintegration pistol. It does have ammunition.
Okay.
So it's got a ammunition, beam, charge 1.
Okay. So just keep track of how much you're using each
So
time,
that hit me a damage.
and it's going to do 1 point of acid damage to you.
Okay. So I've shot 1, 2, 3 bullets now.
So a few seconds have passed since combat begun, but it's the other guy's time. So they're going to begin to make tactical retreats. So they're going to move at just a percentage of their distance and begin to try to disengage.
Can I see which one is holding something?
They're both holding weapons. There were 5 of them at the beginning.
Oh, so 2
Three,
of them.
2 of them continued carrying whatever they were going. These guys are really willing to stay here to hold you off.
Do they have stuff?
Just normal
Just their
personal
weapons.
gear.
Ah, man.
Whatever the runners were carrying is out of sight by now.
They're just delaying us.
Bummer. So we needed to like go after them and keep passing by these guys. But I shot first. My bad.
Quick draw, Rip McGraw.
My bad.
Heather, does a 12 hit you?
Yeah. Sure do.
1 point of damage.
All right. I'm half mast here.
Terry, does a 14 hit you?
Yep.
So that one whinges by. It is now Zed's turn.
Zed. Alright, I'm bringing up the ray rifle again. I'm going to shoot the one that's been partially disintegrated. Oh, and that's a 5.
5 does not hit even
Yeah.
a retreating Venusian.
Son of a...
But they're big.
Terry?
Okay. So I'm going to pull out my ray pistol again.
I'm going to take... Which one's me? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got... These are 5?
They're 5 each, yeah. Or, yeah.
I'm going to take... After I shoot, I'm going to take off toward them.
Okay.
I'm going to go after number 3
How far? Oh, with the gun.
with the ray.
Okay.
Yeah. My ray pistol. 14 plus what? Plus
Heather,
3
Andy
is
instructs you to
6,
stop rolling once.
17.
Andy instructs you to stop rolling once.
17.
Yeah, I will. Thanks, Andy.
17 hits.
Okay. And
Which one are you aiming at? Number 3?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and roll damage.
It's on 1d8.
Yeah.
Thanks. 3.
3?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna put this die in timeout.
So that's the end of the round. So we're going to re-roll initiative. However, at this time,
Shit, what are the stun rules? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, you can set your pistol to stun.
Can you look at the stun... Find, like, one of the ray pistols and look at the stun rules? If they have them there?
Maybe then.
so at this time from around the hallway, you can see that other units begin to respond. And this is actually basically a detachment of the Royal Military Police. So these are folks that you guys know.
Okay. I was gonna say I gotta look up stun. Sorry.
That's okay. Go ahead and look up stun. Everyone else can go ahead and roll initiative while we're doing that.
Woo.
Terry, you want to roll initiative for Richard as well?
Sure. So I had a 16 and he gets a 5.
+3.
Andy, I did it. I got a 16. Woo.
25 to 20.
19. So I had 19 actually.
Okay. 20 to 15.
16.
What did you say you had?
She had 19.
+3.
16 over here.
All right.
8 for Richard. Ricardo.
The Sparky.
So there's stun and stun setting.
What
I
is
think
your
it's stun
actual
setting
name?
is what I want. As a
2D.
bonus action, this weapon can be set to inflict a stun effect at DC 13 instead of regular damage.
What's your name again? 2D?
2D or not 2D?
ZD 853.
ZD. Alright, I'm gonna call you ZD.
Food related name seems appropriate.
I have serious concerns.
So Daisy has the drop for this round. So how does Daisy start out?
So I guess I'm just gonna take off and run after them.
Okay. For your full movement or partial?
No, partial, and then like shoot my ray gun again.
Okay. Where do you want to move to?
That should be off. Like there?
Where did you say?
Like
You
that's
can move
good.
6 squares. So.
Okay. So. And I'll shoot it 3 again.
All right.
You're not getting away.
That's a 3 plus. What do I add?
Not enough.
6.
6 is not going to hit.
Ouch.
I'm actually going to give you a point of inspiration because I'm basically going to turn that into a natural 1. So your shot misses entirely, but it actually hits a pipe and suddenly fills the hallway with a choking smoke.
Aw, seriously?
But you have a point of inspiration since I'm kind of intervening.
You letting them get away?
She's the one who shot at the pipe, man.
Yeah.
I don't breathe, so
Would I be able to detect what that was?
Detect what was?
That whatever this is leaking out into the pipe?
Sure, you have a relevant skill to check with.
Intelligence or science?
Definitely science.
Okay.
can I advantage because I have enhanced taste, which if it enters my mouth, I can analyze it.
Yeah, if you're willing to help, you
So I can roll it. I can
Okay.
roll to help you.
Yeah, either you can both roll or one of you can roll at advantage.
So I
at the
got
same
a 16.
That's fine. What is it? What are we doing? Investigation?
I did science.
Science?
But yeah.
Okay.
So +6, so I had a 16. So yeah, same.
So whatever this pipe was, it was actually a form of coolant that's used because anything that's in space has to disperse heat, a lot of it.
Oh, right.
And this happens to actually be basically a nuclear pile that runs this thing. So there's a lot of excess heat. They typically turn that into electricity, but it still needs to be cooled. They're not using water in this case. They're using other coolant because they can't just vent steam out into space because you can't lose that much mass. So there's other things they're using. So whatever this is a coolant. However, the coolant you can know is poisonous. So this is basically an emergency. If you have the ability to call over a radio or to find a valve nearby and turn this off, you would know that's something that you should do pretty quick.
So yelling is a free action. So I'm gonna yell out, "Get out your rags! Don't breathe it! Poison!"
Sparky, radio over. Oh, sorry, Rexy.
It's Vax, but fine. So I'll radio that there's coolant in the system out in the air now.
Cool. So that's received, and they're going to basically dispatch someone immediately. But if any of you guys can look around and find a valve, you would know that turning that off now is important. But because that it's going to take some time for those guys.
I am immune to poison and disease.
Yeah, you're straight.
So I have enhanced vision, so I should be able to find the valve.
Okay.
And
cool. Do you want to make an investigation check at advantage then?
Sure. Yep. That's a 23.
Are we out of rounds by now?
You're not sure yet.
Okay, all right.
We're still kind of acting in.
So I'm scanning through looking for a valve.
Right. So between where you saw this come from and where the pipe was, you have a general idea of the space. So look, 23 is more than enough. and it is a pretty large valve. Obviously, turning off the coolant system is not something that one wants to be done haphazardly or easily.
Right.
So, and it doesn't happen much. So everything is kind of tight and firm. So you're going to need a strength check or an athletics check to turn that valve.
You're a robot. You can do it.
I'm a weak ass robot.
Of course, you can always relay to your companions that you need help if you're concerned about
guys, I don't know if I can handle this on my own. I'm going to need some help.
If you're going to get help from one of the other people, you can roll an advantage.
Well, that's a 15.
Plus?
No, it's a 16 minus 1. So it's a 15.
So you're straining against it, and it looks like it's about to break.
Super strong.
But
I'm not either, but
shit.
I could try to help. I mean,
Guys, I need some help. I can't get
just
this
might
loose.
die.
Oh,
I can't get this
okay,
loose.
I'm gonna run over and help. What do I do?
Roll a strength check. Or athletics, whichever is higher for you.
Well, that was terrible. I got 1.
Oh no. Fine, I'm running over. All three of us are gonna try and do the strength check.
Alright, if all three of you are going to help, go ahead and roll a 20, and that's just going to be the number of rounds it takes to do it.
Okay.
One of you should roll a 20.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Just pick whoever it is.
Richard.
16.
Oh, man.
Oh, shite, I read it.
Okay, so
I
that's a
did
little
it.
bit of time.
10.
It's about 6 seconds for each of those.
5.
So
Woo!
it's going to take you about a minute and a half, but at this point, rounds are over.
Hold your breath!
But it takes about a minute and a half. It is seized good, so it is, in the immortal words of almost everyone, real gommed up. So it hasn't been turned
real
off.
gommed up.
It hasn't been turned off in who knows how long, probably since it was built, and it's not a thing that gets a whole lot of
We should go, guys.
So after about a minute and a half, boom, you get that. By that point, there's a decon crew there. They're there trying to scrub the air, clean the atmosphere up. As the fog rolls, the hallway is empty. Even the fallen bodies are gone.
Is there stuff?
There is no stuff.
What about the other crews? Did they back off waiting for us to? Okay.
Well, when the robot charged into the poison cloud, they were like, "Can I go ahead and let that let that work itself out naturally."
It's like, not my pipe, not my problem. I want to do an investigation check and see if I can pick up any clues. I have heat detection. I don't know how that works, but I have heat detection and this advantage on investigation for sight things.
I'm not exactly sure how long it would take, like the floor to cool down from someone to walk on it, but I would think that if it's ambient temperature, it would be pretty fast.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that
don't know
took
that
a
the heat
long
detection is gonna check. It took about a minute and a half.
Right. But I can see if anyone was hiding in the hallway or something like that.
Yeah,
I can
go ahead,
check,
definitely
so.
make a check.
Oh shit! It's a 4 plus a 6. It's a 10, but still not great.
Okay, that's average though.
Yeah.
So you're able to look around. There's not like a whole lot of clues per se. Clearly, that there's some scuffs from the battle, but nothing that kind of would change your opinion of the situation.
We got to figure out where these guys went. Maybe we should get back on track and work this case that we've been given.
I agree.
Let's go back and talk to the boss.
I'm not saying anything, but I'm slowly backing away from this coolant, like back towards where we were at the bar.
Yeah, there's teams here who are bringing in basically air filtration units, and they're scrubbing and cleaning. So this air is going to be deconned pretty quickly, and it was a pretty short period of time of exposure, so you're not worried about like.
Yeah, but I'm
been shorter if we hadn't had to read 16 rounds.
That's true. So you were going to head back towards CAD?
Yeah, I want to go head back to CAD and chat with the boss about this.
Okay. It just takes a few minutes to get there. Is everyone going with Zed, or do you have other things you want to do?
Sure.
Give me the sheet.
To speak to the director.
Yeah, so Lily is actually still here. She seems to live here as far as you can tell. She has an office in the back. So there's a large central area where there's many tables. The division was larger, and then it shrank, and now it's growing again after the change of hands. So there's a large central area with different tables and desks where people work. She works below that. Actually, I have a map of the area if you want to look at it.
Take this off?
Yeah, please.
While we're moving, I'm gonna take out one of my cans of daily rations from my backpack and start eating.
Definitely.
I was real hungry from that.
So here is the main entryway to the rest of the Astro Station. There's basically a foyer where there's people can wait, and there's a desk, and there's a few doors that go out through here. These are meeting rooms. There's nothing happening currently. These are desks where investigators would work. These are actually 2 holding cells, and the restrooms. The restrooms are on the wings. The holding cells are between them. This is an evidence locker, an armory, and this is Lily's personal office.
Ooh. She's got her own toilet?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Being the boss.
Yep.
Any person who has their own office and doesn't request a personal bathroom is nothing.
It's good to be the king. All right, so I want to head into the boss's office and chat with her about see if we can get some a little more information. Maybe the best place to start.
Sure. So she's at her desk doing paperwork. She seems to practically live here. She looks up as you enter and she goes, "Ah, back already."
Well, we kind of had a minor shootout with some Venusians in the hallway.
I didn't even hear an air raid siren.
You didn't hear that?
I heard the radio click and I heard the kerfluffle, but shouldn't there have been an air raid siren for a bunch of Venusians?
You're lucky that we were at the Astro Bar, and from the Astro Bar, where we were getting some food and drink, we saw them run past, so we took it.
Oh.
We took care.
So you apprehended them?
Apprehended is a strong word.
They were so fast.
So you didn't.
We shot at them,
We didn't.
and it
We
didn't
didn't.
quite work, but
We shot some other things.
they had some stuff in tote. I'm just saying.
So is it possible that these Venusians could be connected to this case?
I mean, if I knew who took the goods, I would just go get them. Certainly anything is possible, but I think it's strange that we didn't hear an air raid siren if there was a landing party on the ship.
The bodies also disappeared awfully quickly from the cloud of smoke.
Never mind, I don't care. Is there something you need? Wait. I assume the military police are investigating. Are they present? You reported it.
They came in, yes. I signaled over the radio because I'm a smart creature, so I signaled over the radio, but there was some coolant that happened to get out, and so we kind of let special ops take over.
Okay, I also don't care. If they're involved, it's their deal. What did you need? I'm sorry.
Do you have maybe there's a lot of information here. Maybe the best place to get started.
Well, I didn't want to write it in the notes because it's confidential, but I can tell you since you're working the case. The client is actually Vice Air Marshal Elliott himself. So obviously it's a little precarious because he's the one that issues the search warrants and basically runs the station. I can't tell you what the shipment is. It has personal value that to him. I can't tell you because I don't know, but it doesn't matter. We have been charged with it, and if I'm honest, we need this. So,
how do you know?
Your unit.
Sorry.
We need this politically, right? I had to pull some strings even to get your unit attached. There was some uncomfortableness with hiring non-human sophons to give them such legal authority and permission on this ship, and it was not a popular decision. So this is important, not just for the station, not just for the Vice Air Marshal, but for you.
That's very unfortunate because we're good at what we do.
You are, but the world's not fair.
We're on it, boss. We're on it.
But if I could give you a point, I would probably begin with the places explicitly stated in your search warrant. Of course, your warrantless search powers extend to most of the ship, but you do have specific areas where you have an actual search warrant, so that would definitely be a place to start.
So
Well, Vax is going to be happy. We got to go to the sushi place.
Yeah, we do. I'm hungry about now. Listen, that coolant was enough to take me over the edge, and my canned rations just aren't doing it, so...
Well, be sure to keep me updated.
All right, boss.
So you guys are going to make your way to Izakaya Ida?
Making my way downtown,
Yes, indeed.
getting sushi, so that I can stop being squishy.
All right, so you make your way into the commercial district of the station.
Hey.
There are a few places nearby. This is Izakaya Ida. So this is the seating area. There's kind of this is a restroom.
Personal
this is the
bathroom.
kitchen. Yeah. Oh, sorry. This is the office. This is the main administrative office. This is the kitchen. These are restrooms. This is the sitting area. So this is located right at an important crossroads to the station, and there's a small shop across the street.
So I guess we go in and ask around.
Okay. So the restaurant is open. There's currently a person who is standing at the host table, and they look like this. This is Yanto. Yanto is a European who has been chartered by the Empire of Japan to assist in these. And the sushi here is pretty crazy. It is not traditional Japanese sushi. It is European Japanese fusion.
Oh, come on.
It is cutting edge of culinary delight, and it is one of the more popular places to eat on the station.
By cutting edge, you mean not a lot of food, but a lot of price.
Well, if you've ever eaten like other Japanese fusion where it's like sushi with olive oil, this is like a little bit fancier than that. Because
on now.
yeah, there's ingredients from all over the system. So they come from the many moons of Jupiter, from Mars.
Come on, you're
and
not picky.
Ida is actually one of the few
I'm not
places you
picky.
can have this restaurant because of the nexus of locations.
I'm just worried about the price, that's all. I know we got paid, but, things are tight. That's why I'm wearing my overalls, not my business clothes.
Don't worry, if you need something, I'll get you.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
So Yanto sees you come in and says, welcome to Izakaya Ida. Can I get you a table?
Yeah.
Well, this one wants to eat, but I have some questions.
Oh, about the menu?
Let's do
have
both.
Have you had European Japanese fusion before?
I don't eat, so no.
Let's order something for Rexy.
Yeah, how about those starters? You got any appetizers here?
Sure. We have a rare sort of new. It's an experiment. It's a kind of gyoza, so it's like a little what would you call it? Like a dumpling. But instead, it is actually filled with a living moss that grows on Ganymede. It tastes, I'm told, like strawberries.
You know that could be sentient.
I'm not worried.
Just saying.
Can I interest you?
Can I just look at a menu? I'll make it quick.
Sure. Let me take you to a seat. So Yanto guides you to a table, brings a couple of menus, a cup of miso soup, but where you would expect tofu, there is a tiny creature swimming laps. If there's anything I can get you, please let me know.
Here, Rexy, you can have mine.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna slurp it down.
He comes over, actually to Daisy and says, is there anything you would like to drink particularly, ma'am?
Actually, I'd like to ask you some questions, if that would be okay.
Oh, sure.
Have you heard anything about some missing cargo? We're in search of some cargo, and,
You can actually see he gets a little bit uncomfortable. I don't know anything about any missing cargo or anything like that. I'm not involved in any.
So I just start rubbing his arm.
He kind of stutters, and it's not entirely you have seriously unnerved this guy.
I'll take the strawberry food item.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Any drinks? The drinks are on the house. I'll just bring back a selection, and he pieces out to the kitchen.
All right, I'm gonna follow him to the kitchen.
Actually, I think I should follow him in the kitchen.
All right, I'll stand outside the door.
I'm just gonna hang out with him.
That's fine.
You're just gonna enter the kitchen.
He
turns around with a plate full of drinks and drops the entire thing.
I just thought I'd help you.
Ma'am, really, it's fine.
No,
Customers
let
can't
me
be back
help.
here.
I'm gonna pick some of this up for you. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna while
This
he's.
is totally my fault.
It's not.
So what we were talking about that shipment, you know nothing?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just very stressed. The owner of the restaurant hasn't been in the last few days, and I'm just I haven't slept in.
Oh no, you poor baby. Why don't you sit down and I can take care of things?
No, it's fine. So he's running around the kitchen. He's calling for the chefs to cook gyoza, refilling the drinks, and he basically leaves you in the kitchen and heads back out. and he's giving drinks, and the dude is rattled.
So I'm gonna go up to him because I basically heard everything that was said. Because I was outside the door, and I have an enhanced hearing, unless I need to do a check for it.
No, if you have enhanced hearing and you were yes, for check.
So I'm gonna go up to him and be like, so your boss hasn't been around for a couple days.
What? Oh, what are you?
This miso's really good.
What I am isn't important, but what is important is where we might find your boss.
I come back out. I have our drinks.
Oh, thank
I
you.
don't have intimidation.
Thank you, Daisy.
He actually.
I have I can do a persuasion check.
Sure, if you'd like to.
It's a 14 plus 5. Okay. So that's a 19.
So what exactly are you trying to persuade him of, and what is the tact that you're taking to do that?
So it's a friendly intimidation. Like it'd be if you know anything about where your boss is, it would be in your best interest. It would be in everyone's best interest if you just let me know. We'll keep you out of it. I just need the information. No one has to know it came from you.
It's anonymous?
It is anonymous.
I haven't seen Buddhism Talk in more than a week. I don't know anything about the shipment. But I'm just supposed to be the front house manager, and I've been running this place for a week.
Have you seen any strange goings on here since your boss has been gone? Or maybe right before he left?
I don't remember anything particularly, no.
I'm gonna can I use a perception check? I get like +4 to see.
Well,
No,
go ahead. No, I don't know if you were near us or not.
Yeah, I came back in.
Okay. Anyway, go for it. Do your thing.
Have I had at least 5 minutes of physical touch with him?
Altogether?
Like
a constant 5 minutes, or like 5 minutes
5
where
minutes
small
total.
touches were
5
happening?
minutes total.
I don't think so, not yet.
So I grab onto his arm and I mean, if, you seem like you want to get some things off your chest. Maybe you should tell us about the shipment that you apparently don't know anything about, but I'm getting the feeling otherwise.
I really would like to help. I just don't know that I can. I could let you into his office. That's as most as I could do. I really don't know anything about a shipment.
And I grab his arm and I take him to the office. I say, "Let's go. Let's look in here, see what's in here."
Can I do a perception check of him?
Are you more interested in a perception check or a sense motive check?
I guess sense motive.
Okay.
So which would that be?
Sense motive. I mean, it depends on if you're.
What kind of skill check is that?
It is its own check, is it not?
No, we don't have a sense motive on here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have.
Negatory.
There's
perception, investigation, insight.
Oh, insight. Sorry,
okay.
It's insight and perception.
Right.
Sorry.
Okay.
It was sense motive.
Previously. 18 plus 3, so 21.
Okay. What kind of information are you trying to get from watching?
I'm just looking to see, if he's honest about what he's telling us. Like, does he actually know stuff, or is he just making something up to cover?
You believe him that he doesn't know anything about the shipment, but he is super nervous, and he's probably hiding something.
All right.
But you believe him about the shipment.
Okay. Is anybody at the table still, or am I just slurping these up by myself?
I think you're by yourself.
No, it's just you.
All right, I'm gonna try and catch your gaze, either one of you, whoever's the closest.
Well, I've drug him over to the office, so we're
sure. Yeah. So the office is here. The door is there.
What table are we sitting at?
He seated you here.
Okay.
So this is a bar. This is the door to the office. This was the kitchen you were in.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna follow them to the office, obviously, because I know her skills. So.
He opens the door and kind of steps back.
Well, I've had his arm this whole time.
Why don't you join us inside for a minute?
Yeah, come on. I think you're gonna know this place better than we do.
Is this threatening? Or are you like, you better join us inside? Or is it, come help us search?
I'm more like, come help us search. What are you like?
I'm basically just trying to assist her. So it would be friendly.
Sure. If 3 people came into your place of business, though, and one person grabbed your arm and said, "Hey, join us in the back," you'd be like, "I'm definitely going to end up in a truck." So you are not calming him down.
We mean you no harm. I just think that maybe you know this area better.
Why don't you stay here with him while I go inside and check?
Okay.
Give me an intelligence roll all around.
All around? Okay, I'm still sitting at the table, watching, waiting on my strawberry
it's a 16
appetizer.
plus 4, so 20.
Did you say which?
Intelligence.
Check? Intelligence. 14.
It occurs to both of you that if you maybe flash a search warrant, you might actually get more out of that information.
Oh, and By the way, did you know that we have this search warrant here for the area? I just thought maybe you needed to know about this.
Are you the police?
Well, we are in charge of investigating this.
We are the investigators on record.
Can I see?
Absolutely.
your warrant?
You'll see that this place is specifically
I've got his arm.
authorized for us to search. So you are completely in the clear.
This is kind of long. Can you point it? Oh. You're therefore commanded to search Izakaya Ida and the personal quarters of Burzantak of Europe. Oh, I see. I misunderstood. I didn't quite understand. Yes. So you're here because Burzantak is missing.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand. Sure, let us go in. He kind of actually sets his hand on top of your hand, Daisy's hand, Terry.
You what?
He kind of like puts his hand over where you're holding his arm.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Let's. He's late to work, so let's look. So the office is as you see it here. So there's a desk, there's a few shelves, and there's a bookcase in the back, and it's pretty clean. It's actually just a regular office. So.
Okay, so at this point, could I use my, because I have this physical touch thing, can I, you would have to, like, so I'm trying to convince him, like,
just let us know how much time has passed so far.
Yeah.
In contact with him.
Once you guys do an action or two in this room, it'll be about 5 minutes.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to do an investigation check.
Okay.
I'm basically looking for anything. I'm going to rifle through the papers and look for go through the desk drawers and see if I can find anything that looks untoward. Maybe some communiques with someone that looks suspicious, or someone of power, or someone connected to possibly Vice Air Marshal Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
So, shit. Well, it's 7. It's 6 plus 6 is 13.
Okay. Is everyone else also investigating, or?
Yeah, I want to use like a perception check to see if if the European is like targeting any areas or anything like.
Oh, if his eyes, you're following his gaze.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
That's actually take an inspiration point for that. That's pretty cool.
Okay, I didn't do great.
I'm investigating the kitchen for my strawberry appetizer.
So I'm doing inspiration a little bit differently. Anything that like elicits a laugh from the table, or is a clever solution, or makes me go, "Oh, that was neat," is going to get an inspiration point.
Cool.
There's not going to be any inspiration points for like role playing or anything. But it's like, clever solutions and stuff are going to get inspiration.
So I have 10.
Okay. His gaze is just passing along the room. It doesn't seem to linger in any spot that is indicative.
So when did you say the last time you saw your boss was?
Oh, it's been about a week now, maybe a little bit more. I haven't slept in a while. At least a week.
Did he seem upset or concerned the last time you saw him?
But isn't Isn't always upset? He's not a happy man. He's busy. He's contracted by the Empire of Japan to run this restaurant, and neither of us expected to end up as emissaries working in a restaurant. But I don't know the details, but it's important for our people that this restaurant do well. So we're here doing well too.
What was he doing the last time you saw him?
He was here in the office, and then he had a meeting, and then he went home.
A meeting? Who did he have a meeting with?
I don't know. I didn't know him. He was a large fellow. I just saw him as he left, and I was in the kitchen cleaning.
Could he be an Venusian?
Was he a hairy ape?
That's rude. Maybe. I mean, it's hard to tell. Most of you down planeters look kind of similar. So I'm sorry.
That's me.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Except for you. No one would confuse you.
So at this point, can I maybe use my?
How has the restaurant been doing?
We're busy most nights. There's some kerfluffle in the hallway, so we're a little slow this evening, but I think we're doing well.
So I want to use my. Has it been 5 minutes? Okay, so I would like to use my charm.
So tell me about this power. How does it work?
Okay, so basically, it's just he would have to save on a wisdom throw of 12 or more, and so basically it's just I just I have after I have the physical touch for a while, I can charm him into. It's just
Okay.
my pheromones, I guess.
Your power works.
Overwhelms him.
Overwhelms him.
He and you can tell he was actually kind of inclined towards you anyway. But I just rolled a 1, so he's like, "I'm kind of into you."
Hey.
It's tailored towards a specific creature, and they feel affectionate towards me. Yeah. So, is there anything we're not asking about that maybe we should be?
Oh, you actually don't notice much of a change in his behavior, which is a little bit strange.
What's making you so nervous?
I could tell you where Brazantek's quarters are. It was on your warrant. I could give you directions.
What makes you so nervous?
What made you nervous when we first walked in?
If I'm honest, it's yourself, man. That's all. He does the European equivalent of a blush.
Alrighty then. Well, yes. Can you please show us to his quarters?
I can't leave the store unattended, but I can certainly give you directions.
That'll work.
That would be wonderful.
That'll work. Did my investigation in the office turn up anything? Was it 13?
For that role, no.
Okay.
If you want to spend some extra time, and maybe more of you work.
Yeah, I'll help out. What do we have?
We do another check.
Sure.
Does somebody else at advantage?
Just so you know, when we roll a DC check, that it goes up by 1. I haven't told you the DC, but I'm just letting you know it's going up by 1.
Is it just an investigation, or can I use?
You can help him, and he can roll at advantage.
Oh, okay. So what do I do?
You just have yourself helping.
Just say
roll
helping.
another one.
Helping.
All right, that is a 21.
Okay.
21.
So the DC with the increase was 18, so okay. 21 succeeds. So as you're looking around, you actually notice there's a discolored bit of flooring around this bookcase, and it catches
It's a
your eye.
secret shelf. It's always a secret shelf. Sorry, I composed myself.
Are you still out there waiting for your food?
I have gone into the kitchen to get food. I have scouted the entire place, and I have started making myself at home, eating their food.
Oh, Rexy, I think maybe we could use some of
I
your
feel
assistance.
like they would be like whipping stuff up for you because you're like, just bring it on.
I've been watching the
Bring
scene.
me all of the bacon and eggs you have.
So
Wait,
I have...
I'm worried what you heard was bring me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was bring me all of the bacon.
Bring me all of your kimchi.
So while I'm out here, I'm also like surveying the scene, like watching if other people are getting nervous, like if there's anybody else who's watching us. Like I'm doing all of these things, but I'm also like looking for food because I was under the understanding that we were like eating first and businessing as a side.
I'm gonna go out. So, are you in the kitchen now or out in the?
Well, I have been
You
traipsing.
actually have not finished your investigation.
Oh, okay.
I'm traipsing through from the table to the kitchen, just wandering around, like to the bar wherever the sushi chef is. Like I'm doing the rounds in here.
Well, I was gonna say I was gonna go out and say, hey, I think we found a secret door. So that's how I was.
It sounds like she's still going to have her food. If you say,
But I was calling for it. Hey, Rexy, I think we could use your assistance.
You gotta be kidding me. I just got my food.
He loves it when I call him Rexy.
I'm bringing my food with me. I'm coming, but I'm also like watching other people if they're like watching me, you know, watching them, watching me while I'm eating because I'm obnoxious, like while I'm
So
sleeping.
I'm gonna check this shelf. I'm gonna go check it and see if I can figure out.
with your enhanced sight, you can see that the floor is actually slightly discolored, and there's actually a slight gap between the shelf and the wall, and there appears to be actually a couple of very fine scratches that would probably miss. The unaided eye would generally miss it, but with your enhanced vision, you can see that's the case.
All right. So I'm gonna go over and try to. Can I just move the shelf? Does it move?
It does not.
It does not. All right, so I'm gonna look for a switch or a catch or something, and check all the books on the shelf.
Is there a disable device skill anymore? It's just investigation.
Oh, I do have. That's an artifact analysis. I am technologically adept, but that's just advantage on artifact analysis.
I'm finally gonna slide in the room with my food and tote, going, "You rang."
Hey, we found the secret door. We got to figure out how to open it.
I think
Secret
investigation is fair.
door. Secret door, alright. So I start walking over and looking and watching him, what he's doing. ZD, I'm watching. I'm also
Alright.
eating.
So do another investigation.
Mhm.
With she's helping me, so
Are
advantage.
you helping?
Yeah.
Sure.
Give it a go, Sparky.
16.
Okay. So as you're fiddling with it, you kind of grab a pen or something that's nearby, and you actually feel there's a catch. You sort of insert it on the side, and with a little bit of pressure, it pops, and you can actually see that the shelf then kind of slides horizontally on rollers, which is why when you tried to move it, it didn't go anywhere. So it doesn't swing out. It actually just kind of like a barn door
Gotcha.
slides.
Gotcha. What is the guy's
where
name?
is it?
It's this shelf here.
Okay.
What is the guy's name?
It's
Yanto.
And so, did you know anything about this?
I didn't.
All right, I'm gonna.
Rosenthal is a weird fellow. It's not surprising that he would have something like this. He's a strange guy.
So I'm gonna ready my ray pistol, and I'm gonna step through the doorway.
Oh, so it's not large enough to step through.
Oh,
We're
it's
talking
not.
about a bookcase.
Okay.
It's low to the
Oh,
ground.
my bad. Okay.
There's just a space behind
We
it.
were thinking like secret room.
I was.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is behind? What is in the alcove?
Yeah, there's like a board that's set up.
Okay.
And so when you pull that aside, it's basically just another shelf. And there's just some paperwork and just like an assortment of things, and there's actually quite a bit of money in here.
ZD, this is a safe. It's a safe. It's where he keeps the goods.
I'm
What's
gonna
on
rifle
this?
through the paperwork.
Yeah,
and
what's on this paperwork?
we make any sense of any of it? Any of it?
I don't know. Let me know.
All right. So, oh, this is a ledger.
Alright, give me the details, because I'm still eating.
All right. We got incoming goods. We've got shipped goods. Can I do a check on this? We got
okay.
just to look for a pattern. Trying to see what's on here. All right, we've got planets, we've got moons, we've got asteroids.
Well, this is a station. Maybe things are going to different places. Maybe you should
Alright,
let everybody look at it.
While
What's
they're looking
light?
at that, can I like look around the room, see if there's anything else worth noting?
Sure.
Investigate.
They're all signed for.
18 plus 6, so 24.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for anything of interest. If there are papers, like desk drawers with faulty insides, like hiding places. If there's any carpet that's like stained or anything discolored, anything out of the ordinary, furniture moved.
All of the rest of the paperwork basically just seems restaurant running things. That you don't see anything extra that you found.
Nothing in the office like furniture moved or anything.
No, that's just pretty regular.
All right, it's pretty genuine. So what's this, Daisy?
I'm not sure. We got some things going to Europa. Maybe something going to Venus. I'm not sure what these are. Mars.
So those are our planets.
Things coming to the belts.
Got a couple vegetables going to the moons. Got some
Dry goods.
contracts going to other planets. So it's definitely just their shopping log, what kind of shipments they're doing. Looks like nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, but why would he have it in the safe?
I don't know what these are. That VIT?
VET? Vet?
It looks like bits.
Vitamins?
Anything that is non-renewable and difficult to get or has to come from a planet, like medicine, they just call them all vitamins. So anything that is irreplaceable, small, and highly valuable just gets called vitamins.
There's a lot of vitamins from the asteroid belt, I'm just saying.
And they're coming here. Right? Because that's its origin from the asteroid belt. So we're getting lots of shipments in. I wonder if this is what he's concerned about.
It's possible.
It got lost on its way.
Maybe he's sick.
It's a contract. There's no prices listed on them.
It's pretty common for certain goods to just have a contract price. So you can see the other things have prices by weight. That's actually kind of an outlier, but it's kind of a strange document for him to have because he runs a restaurant.
Right.
Cold. Nice.
Do you have another copy?
I wonder why he would have this.
It looks like a shipping and receiving log.
Yeah.
He put in
for sure.
vitamins in the food.
Oh, they didn't understand that.
Yeah, it's probably not legible, but there it is.
If you can read this chicken scratch.
All right. Well, let's take this. Why don't we have?
You guys want to maybe make an investigation or intelligence check, whatever is
for
higher.
Can I do insight?
No, it's not really relevant.
Intelligence
I got
or investigation?
investigation.
Yeah, I do too.
I get 22.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything that looks like an extra marking that is not typical to the form might merit additional investigation.
Over here.
So it's stuff on the
Feel
right
free
side.
to move it so you can read it if you want to.
There's a marker. There's a marker by this particular shipment. Came from the moon.
The European moon.
And it's pretty heavy. 3,000 pounds of it.
Like a Venusian might need to move it.
It's possible.
Just saying, if somebody's gonna be leaving quick with it, my bet is it's a Venusian.
They're so big and strong and
Sure are, in the way.
animalistic.
Yeah, that's something. Let me see that log. Alright, Davey. Any extra markings here? What's this?
Stod.
Yeah, it looks like there might be some things of interest. What is that? A contract? A day contract? Dry. Sorry, handwriting.
goods,
hard
wet
to read.
goods.
Could be ammunition.
Dry goods, fuel, and is that vegetables?
Yeah.
Vegetarians.
Vegetables.
We're shipping in vegetarians.
But what do they eat?
So yeah, fuel, vegetarians, and dry goods seems to be what's coming in.
But it could be
Or
any
what they're
kind of
worried
dry
about.
goods. It could be food, or it could be
Heather, give me an
clothing,
intelligence check for Vex.
could be
With advantage, because it's kind of your specialty.
again ammunition.
Intelligence.
With advantage.
With advantage. So that's 15.
Okay. The math doesn't work out on this sheet.
The math. All right. Something doesn't add up. Out of character. What doesn't add up?
If you're looking at it,
That we have like the vitamins for 3,000 pounds. Is that right?
Out of character, like my character would know what doesn't add up, but me personally, I don't know.
yeah, it looked like some of the shipping weights and costs don't add up.
Okay, all right. So the shipping weights and costs don't add up, and I'm curious why that is, where the numbers are being fudged, and what's going on here. Do you see anything, ZD?
Well, there's a bunch of stuff here without even weights. I can pull out my data pad and start crunching all these numbers to figure out.
I'll help him.
It looks like the ones that don't add up have been marked in the side column with either stars or little brackets.
Okay.
Oh, maybe so those are the pieces that never got here? Pieces of the shipment that he's worried about that never
Things are heavier than is disclosed is the problem.
Or that disappeared.
All right. So this is
So
whoever had that sheet before you noticed a mathematical error and made a note about it.
So somebody
and it deals with
sloughed
shipping.
some off the top.
I see.
Didn't give him
Somebody's skimming.
his full package.
Somebody's skimming.
So we gotta find a skimmer off the top.
I wonder if he maybe investigated that and is missing now.
That's possible. I mean, if you start looking for somebody who's skimming off the top, they're not gonna enjoy that,
We
right?
should definitely investigate his quotas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So
Yanto gives you
Map.
find directions to Bersentuk's quarters.
Yanto, is there anything I can give you? We would like to pay for our meal. I'll take care of it.
Oh, it's on the house, man. Thank you for coming. Please come again, though.
Absolutely.
So he gives you directions to Bersentuk's quarters. They're pretty large. For most of the quarters, basically were like converted barracks, but this was actually already set up as a room. It's actually pretty typical for European emissaries to have nice spots on the station. And so this is actually not out of line for that, but it's large for the station in general. So here's your main entryway. There's a sleeping chamber, a bathroom, a very small kitchen, and a living area.
I'm looking for like little secret shelves and things now that we know he has the style. I'm investigating. 12.
So the place barely looks lived in. It almost looks like, if you've ever looked in an apartment, there's like the model apartment they show everyone, where it's like if an AI designed a room people lived in, it's slightly off. So that's kind of this case. It doesn't look like anyone lives here.
This is what I would expect out of the European.
But everything's very clean.
Do we know what this guy looks like objectively? Like, have we seen him before?
You know that he's a European, but
They all
I
look
don't.
alike.
I don't think
Are they all the
you have
same,
not seen
Daisy?
him particularly. No.
They are.
Huh.
Not like you, Rexy.
And you didn't ask Yanto for a description or anything. So.
There's no identifying personal. There's no personal effect pictures.
Yeah,
Nothing
There's
like
no
that.
photos or anything. You do notice, however, that the desk in the bedroom is locked.
All right.
Well, I think maybe we should figure out a way to get in there.
Oh, for sure.
You actually realize that you're not necessarily the first ones here. There's actually police tape inside that had been taped up, but has since been torn down.
Well, maybe later we should ask the police what they know about this.
So we're definitely like the third or fourth people that's been here.
I'm a little worried about asking the police anything after the way those bodies disappeared. I think we're on our own on this one.
Yeah, we're gonna have to be careful, discretionary who we ask, especially if he's been disappeared. You know what I'm saying?
All right, let's check this desk out. See if we can get into this bad boy.
Would my engineer's tools be helpful here?
Yeah, I think
That
so.
sounds like a thing.
Cool. All right, I will do a check to unlock.
Oh, I have lockpicks.
Oh, that works.
What skill is that attached to? Because there's
That's
not
what
like
I'm
there's
curious.
not a
Mine, it's equipment. I have lockpicks.
Yeah, but typically there's like a disabled device skill. I'm not sure what it is in Rocket Age. It would be deception, engineering, sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, we can use sleight of hand.
Okay.
Do you have a specialty in that?
Which is your dex if you don't.
No, I just have the +1 because I.
Yeah, so
We
because
both
you
have
have
the
class
same
skill.
dex modifier, so either one of us.
Well,
can
but
do
she
it.
gets to add half of her proficiency bonus.
Oh, shit, yeah.
I
because
do
of her
I do
class skill.
too. Add half
yeah.
proficiency bonus, which is a 1 for me. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you guys want to work on it together, you could roll at it. We could roll advantage.
Okay,
Good
let's
work.
do that.
I'll help her.
So I get to roll 2.
Yes.
Yes, and take the highest.
What's your modifier?
Well, they're both the same.
Oh.
So
3 plus 1 is 4, so 18. Right?
how'd you figure?
Your dex is 3 plus
Yeah.
half your proficiency bonus.
Yeah.
So what is it, Terry?
18.
So that's high enough. So it's a simple desk. It's not like they're not like high security options. It's like that one where like the same key opens 3/4 of the desks in the office. So you guys are able to get it just a couple pins, and the desk opens.
What's in there?
So there's some continued paperwork. There's some more shipping goods, and there's actually this is a little bit strange. There's a very small ornate box. It's kind of like it looks like mother of pearl, but not quite. It doesn't really look familiar to any of you. It's some other stone that's similar. So there's that, and there's actually a small bag with something wadded up inside it.
I'm
I'm
gonna check that out.
this bag.
I'm gonna check out the little pearl holder thing.
Okay.
I'm gonna check it out, just tinker with it and see if I know what's going on here.
Just a tiny box can be opened.
Okay, fine. I'll look in the box.
There is
What's in the box?
a very fine powder
What's in the
that
box?
is a pink purple. kind of mix.
Well, you know I'm gonna use my science brain and figure out what that.
I'm gonna. I do. I don't have a tongue, but I'm gonna do that.
You're also immune to poisons.
And I'm gonna take a tiny pinch of it and put it in my mouth and see if I can tell what it is.
What kind of information can you garner from that?
It is. Oh crap! I need to look up the. It's advantage on science. It's advantage on a science check when I taste something.
Okay.
So I guess to identify the.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your science.
Okay. So I'm also working to. Should I roll separately or
So
help him?
Science.
You'll have to roll separately. He's already getting advantage.
Well, I'm already advantaged.
You
So.
can't double, triple advantage.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll because I rolled a 4 and a 2.
You haven't tasted this before.
15 plus 6, so that's 21.
Okay. You haven't quite seen this precisely before, but you can tell that it's like an alkaloid.
Okay.
So it's probably either a poison or a drug.
Okay.
But you don't have a name for it.
Okay.
Do I know what the name is?
You do not.
Okay.
But something about it is kind of familiar, but it's not in your direct experience.
Okay. Can I work through the mental process of figuring out what is familiar and where I know that from, and start working through that?
It seemed there's something about it that is reminiscent of Jupiter.
Ooh.
Of the moons of Jupiter.
I'm gonna take the whatever's in the wadded up, wrapped up, and unwrap it.
It is a mask. It's a pretty good one. Of a Venusian.
Oh no.
So maybe they weren't Venusians that we were after?
Okay, so here's something rough that, I, in hindsight, might be pulling together. What if this powder, which I don't know what is, but whatever this Jupiter moon powder is that I've got here, and that mask were really a disguise for him trying to go find out what was stolen. And when we saw those Venusians that I shot at first. Connection?
It's possible. He's been missing for 5 days.
Okay,
At
alright.
least.
He's been missing for 5 days, though.
Okay, alright.
But you might be close to the right track. So is there anything else of interest in his apartment? So we got
There's
this.
the locked door, right?
No,
The
he
desk
said it
was
was
locked.
literally the desk was it.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah. And check and see if there's anything else special about the desk.
Sure, go ahead and look.
Can I look at this mask, take it from them and start looking at it to
I'll check under the bed.
This guy is betraying me now.
put it in timeout?
Put it in jail.
It's an 11.
You don't see anything else that's interesting.
Alright. Wait, is that an investigation for me looking at this mask, or do I need to?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. 10.
It's just kind of like a latex-like material. The sculpt is pretty good.
Okay.
It would pass at a distance.
Alright. Since we've got that affidavit, can we take this stuff?
We've been given broad authority to investigate this crime, especially in these areas. So I'm gonna say yes.
I think you should hold on to this stuff, Rexy.
Alright. I'll put it in my backpack.
Any additional searching of the desk or apartment?
I mean, yeah, I want to do a thorough comb through just to make sure.
Yeah.
So would that be perception or
You should comb through your
investigation?
belt too, maybe.
You can do that if you want. I got what I needed at the restaurant.
He got some math. Just funny.
But I'm gonna do. Is that investigation or is that
So you're going to spend as much time as it takes to look through the rest of the apartment?
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So you do find a calendar, and 9 days ago there is a meeting that was penciled in. It just says meeting, and it literally says Venusian in quotes. The rest of the papers in the desk, they're similar to this one that you pulled here. They're export-import papers, which are, as far as you know, strange for him to have. It looks like he may be involved in some kind of import-export something, but it looks like it might be off the books.
Great.
There are no dates on these at all.
Alright, so he's doing the black market equivalent of trade, export, and import, so no wonder he's missing some of his stuff, right? Somebody's slacking off the top of his illegal, i.e., under the radar goods, and he's not happy about it. So I wonder if this meeting was him trying to figure out where that went, right? Because go to the source, talk to them. If it's the Venusians.
I think maybe we should go to the cargo decks. See if we can find anything there, or maybe those guys down there know something.
What was that other option?
Listen, we gotta be careful though. Remember, like, we can't just go asking anybody questions, because if you go asking in broad daylight about the black market, like, you're not getting anything.
Yeah, but we know he's moving shipments of something.
Okay, but nobody else is gonna self-identify themselves as being part of that. You know what I'm saying?
We may be able to grease some palms.
Just let me in touch with them.
All right, Daisy, you do whatever thing you do, and we'll figure it out. So we're headed to the cargo.
So you're headed to the flywheel, the central hub.
Yes, is that where the cargo?
Yep.
Cargo decks are.
So this is only a tiny wedge. So the distance here is scale.
Yento?
A half inch is about 100 yards. So this is about a half mile across.
Okay.
So this is about a half mile across from the central hub. Just to show you the size would be like a 2-person rocket ship, basically, would be about the scale there. The entire place, there's only a portion here. Basically, there's room for, it amounts to like airstrip parking and launching around the entire outside edge. So the hub is raised slightly, and they basically use a slingshot maneuver to get ships into space. So that all happens around the edge. Inside of that, there's partitions and rooms that have storage facilities and things like that. Each one of these storage rooms basically usually has an elevator going up or down to the levels depending on which part of the ring you're at. And it's a huge area. It's about a half mile across.
So there are. How is it manned?
So there are. There's basically like flight crews that handle like all the jobs are kind of tailored. So there's flight crews who are working on craft. The station basically has its kind of own military. It's kind of a collaborative from many of the nations of Earth, but it kind of operates by itself like a fleet. So there's people working in import-export. There are storage. There's people moving stuff. Like it's a busy part of the ship. You would be able to find out pretty quickly like where certain businesses, typically which part of the hub they go to, or where certain locations come from. They tend to be grouped. So if it's going, certain parts of the system, those ships are all in one location. So if you want to look at ships who are coming to and from the belts, they're in one area.
Can I use my knack for engineering to sort of like figure out what system is quickly and like figure out like basically orient us to where we are and where we need to be?
Sure. In the main entrance, there's basically like a large elevator in the center. You know that basically izakaya, where they receive their shipping goods, you can like navigate to that spot if you wanted to start there. You could go and you could look at the places where European goods come in or Earth goods.
European goods, that's where we want to go.
So we're
these questionable spots, they're all European.
Alright, so we're headed to European goods then.
So you guys make your way. It takes some time to get there. There's people moving like, hand trucks and pallets. There's half tracks that are driving around this place moving equipment. And as you get to sort of the European sector, you can see that this is actually strangely quiet, and it might just happen to be the time of day. It just might not be an active business cycle for European folks. You can see these things kind of are working in concert with whatever their times are kind of locally, and that's pretty typical. Go ahead and give me. Wait, does anyone have a passive perception that's higher than 13?
Passive perception.
Mine is 13.
No, mine's 11.
Mine's 13.
Where is that?
Bottom. You're 12. Bottom, farther down.
Oh, 12. Sorry.
Yours is 13?
Mine's 12.
Okay. You see that there's like a cleaning crew that are operating outside of an office area in the European shipping area.
Alright. So that's, I explained to them, this is just a cleaning crew. Other than that, it seems like we're on our own.
Whatever they're using is like an astringent cleaning chemical.
Maybe I'll go hang out with the cleaning crew. Ask them some questions. So I go over and I just grab one of their arms and I'm like, hey, what are you up to?
So the cleaning crew, they're all Earthlings,
Mhm.
and they're kind of taken aback. They're not used to people kind of interrupting their work. And they said, "Oh, we're just cleaning the deck. There isn't much else to do, so you know."
Some pretty strong chemicals you use, and you're doing such a great job.
Well, there's lots of airline grease and things like that. You can use avgas for a lot of this, and of course, we have to be under consideration of radium leakage, and that takes strong chemicals.
Are there like computer systems? Like what is are there display panels?
Not really.
No.
1938.
Well, I mean, so there's somewhere. So their office with manifests.
Yeah, it's all paper shipments and manifests.
Okay.
Yeah, it's black market, right? Like, it might be under the radar.
So can we? I wanna look while Daisy is distracting the cleaning crew. I wanna look through the shipments, check the markings on the crates and the area, and see if I can find anything that raises some suspicion.
I'm probably gonna go with them. I'm not overly interested in these cleaning people.
Okay. Gonna do an investigation check. You help me.
Yeah, I'll help
you
you.
help me check it out. Okay. 18 plus 24.
So everything that's in here is basically goods that are designed to pass through. So this area are stuff that is basically going down the gravity well, towards the inner planets, whether it's Venus or Mars or Earth. So all of these shipments are sealed. They're coming. Most of these tend to be look like they're coming from Europa. There's a few other stuff mixed in, but it's all stuff that's heading down towards the sun.
And there's no markings on the crates that.
Yeah, they might be stamped Europa or Ganymede or Io or not Io, but Ganymede or Europa or different belt markings. But all of that stuff seems to be higher than Ida's station and heading lower.
All right, so what are the clues we're not picking up here?
Can I roll a perception check on these cleaning crew guys?
Sure.
Okay, so one of the
Do you want a perception check, or did you want like a sense motive check, or what are you interested in? Or insight? Sorry.
Well,
Like what kind of information are you wanting to get?
I'm just trying to see how they're Are they nervous? Are they feeling?
That's insight.
Okay, so here's something to think
I can do
about
that.
while we're looking through that area. Right, so the things that are
That's a
seemingly
4,
not
Dave.
correct are fuel, vegetables, and vitamins, which the vegetables might be climate controlled and the fuel's probably not being contained here. So maybe vitamins is the only thing we're looking for here.
That's a good point.
Sorry, I didn't hear what your roll was.
4.
You didn't need to.
You have inspiration, don't you?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
let me try it
unless
again.
you don't want to use it, which is fair.
I got 2 inspirations, so I'm gonna.
You can only have one at a time.
Oh.
I thought you spent one.
She did. You spent
did
it.
earlier.
You spent away
You
earlier.
spent one and then you gained one.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. She just didn't mark it.
What did we say I'm doing?
Insight? Yeah.
11.
So these guys basically are just dudes who are at work. There doesn't seem to be anything particular. They're being particularly diligent in the cleaning, but that's not
Have you been
atypical.
Have you been ordered to clean anything particularly well lately, or any areas that you're supposed to focus on?
I mean, this is just our area of responsibility. So this is where we clean. The order came down, make sure it's spotless. So we're making sure it's spotless.
Is it common to make sure it's spotless?
Have you never been on a ship before? It's common.
No.
If there's nothing else to do, we clean stuff. That's just how it
It
works.
sounds like I haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty regular.
So you're prime for information in a cutesy way.
So this is the only izakaya goods in the place,
Mhm.
like in this vicinity.
So it's gotta be here.
And we don't see anything. I mean, we don't see anything suspicious. Like, there's no dates on these. We don't know if any of this.
But it's gotta be labeled, right? Like somebody's gotta know a code for what goes where and why.
Yeah.
Like there's gotta be a not necessarily a manifest, but like a key.
Oh, so all this stuff came from the moon.
Came from
It's marked where
European.
each item.
What-
Which
Europa is a moon, but yeah.
Oh, I
That's what
got
we
you.
said.
I'm dumb.
Europa.
My intelligence
That
is
moon.
18, but I'm dumb.
Book smarts. A. So there's got to be like a key or some kind of log here that somebody's got to know what goes where and what's in what crates. So,
Without busting all these crates open, I don't know. I don't know how. So is there an office nearby?
There are offices, yeah, but there isn't one for like Izakaya's Goods doesn't have its own office, but there are like kind of, like planetary district offices that are on other parts of this floor.
So there's nothing here that we can garner from.
Nah.
If you guys want, we could take a short break now.
Sure.
That'd be good.
Just over that.
Yep.
Yeah. While we make our way over to the offices.
Thanks for tuning in to Let's Play Games West Virginia. We're going to take a short break and be back with you shortly.
Bio break.
The year is 1938, and the radium-fueled rockets of Earth have reached the furthest stretches of the solar system. We're living in a world where
Welcome to the Interplanetary Development Agency's Astro Station, called IDA for short. IDA is run by cooperative agreement of the great nations of Earth, and sovereigns from all over the system call her home. IDA was originally designed by collaboration of Soviet and Reich scientists as part of their commercial agreement. But as of 1937 and the Multi-Party System Resource Pact, she is now neutral space and jointly administered. IDA is strategically located to help spin up or spin down shipments, transports, and data from the inner planets to the belt and beyond. IDA is a hub and mandatory pit stop for all traveling the breadth of the system. Welcome to IDA, and we hope you enjoy your stay.
Quality chips.
Hey folks, welcome back. We're Let's Play a Game West Virginia here for the second part of Episode 1, Sashimi To Go, of Rocket Age.
If you'd let me have some sashimi.
Inspiration for yourself.
I should totally keep track of my own inspiration.
Alright, so we're in the cargo hold checking some stuff out.
Do you guys want to kind of sum up where we're at thus far? Maybe...
Yes, so we've been given an assignment to investigate the disappearance of some cargo.
By our disinterested boss.
Turns out that we've been given this assignment by Vice Air Marshal Elliott, who runs the station. We went to...
and he signed up on all the warrants to allow us to look into all of this stuff, which isn't suspicious.
Right, it's kind of on the down low, though, right? That he's got an interest in it.
And
Right,
it's a very important mission
He would be the
for-
person to sign off on them anyway.
Right.
It's just because his privately
He's
involved.
got a little extra on the top there.
So we went to Izakaya Ida, which is a
Fusion.
sushi Japanese fusion restaurant.
European.
And we found out that the owner has been missing for 5 days, and we investigated his office and found a shipping manifest with some stuff that doesn't add up.
I didn't even get an entree.
Poor Vax has not had enough to eat today.
That's true.
And now we're in the cargo hold, checking to see if we can make any sense or find anything that makes sense with this messed up shipping manifest.
In Disney World, three snacks add up to an entree. So I think maybe at this point, since you were in the kitchen so long.
I guess I did have 3 snacks. I had 2 miso soups and that strawberry. What was that thing?
It was like a moss gyoza.
A moss gyoza.
Yeah, as far as I remember.
In addition to the stuff I grabbed from the kitchen on my way in and out. So I'm slurping on some foods.
All right.
Fine.
So, we're in the cargo hold. I would like to keep looking around. I'm going to take another investigation check.
Yeah, I really don't want to walk all the way over there to...
I feel like there's got to be something here that we're missing.
Yeah.
So you're gonna...
I'll help you out with that.
All right, we're going to do this.
I'm going to say goodbye to the... Goodbye, boys! And say goodbye to the...
sorry, I happen to just catch chat. No, Andy, this is Big Timber Porter, not Forest Fest. But just as good.
But if you want to run out and grab us some.
Son of a... Okay, I got a 16.
We'd be much
Vax
obliged.
would enjoy.
So 16 is enough to notice that amongst the shipments that are marked for Izakaya, there are it's a European import, restaurant, right? So there's a lot of stuff from Europa, but there do appear to be like a few smaller crates that are not like the standard crate size. Those do grab your attention.
Want to check it out?
I do.
I've joined them.
I do.
I've got some wire cutters and some other things I could help.
So is there anything distinguishing about these packages? Are they we know that they're small size. Is there anything else?
No, nothing really stands out other than they're not quite the same shape as the others.
So what are the approximate number of total shipments for Izakaya? Are there?
There's probably like 150 crates, and maybe 3 crates would be the size of this table. So there's a couple, couple stacks.
Really
Right. But and then these are the only small ones then.
Right.
Okay.
There's this other sort of tucked away. There are smaller crates that are about 3/4 to half the size.
So
Okay.
And there's maybe only 12 of those.
These seem unusual.
Something's filtering through this restaurant that shouldn't be.
Can I? I don't. I'm gonna see if I can detect any heat coming off of them.
Okay. How does that work?
I don't know if there's a mechanism for it.
Is it just one of your?
It's one of my things, but there should be a thing. Okay. Look, I found it. Hold on.
I'm gonna look around the outside
Yeah,
of
that's a good
these to make sure that if I crack it open, that there's no fail-safe thing, or I want to do some discovering around these.
So these are all kind of like wooden crates. There are like refrigerated crates and other things that are held in a different part of the flywheel. So this is all kind of dry goods sort of stuff.
All right, so I want to.
Rexy, do you smell anything funny in there?
I can just detect
What-
variations
what
of
are you
heat to a
saying
range
there?
of 60 feet. There's no check.
I mean, yeah.
Everything has been in the
Something
same
like
place
that,
for long
maybe
enough
you
that
could
it's
find
all kind
something
of
with your
just the
nose.
ambient
You
temperature.
think I have a
Everything's fine,
fancy
so
nose?
okay.
Well, you know what? I can't smell anything because of the mutation, so my nose is not great. Just saying.
Well, what kind of job
Just
are
saying.
ya?
Pretty
So
awesome
are these physical? What are the crates like? Are they wood or are they
Yeah, he
plastic
said
plastic
they're
and metal
wood.
or
Yeah, these are wood crates.
wood crates? I'm gonna pry one of these bastards open.
All right.
We should.
Okay, strength check.
Oh, that's not gonna be. Does somebody want to help me?
Yeah, huh?
Okay.
It's kind of fun that you're a weak robot.
How does
Right?
it even happen?
I'm a spy. I don't need to be strong. All right.
My strong arm.
So 15 minus 1, so 14.
That's enough. It's like you like pry it up and you can get a little gap.
All right. And I'm gonna look inside.
Okay.
Because I have my sight and I can see down to microscopic level if I need to. What do I see in there?
This one happens to be like various fruits. They're not typical fruits that you're familiar with. They're your open version of fruits.
Would that count as the
They have
vegetable?
a smell that is
Vegetable?
almost
The vegetable?
more like
Vegetable.
mushroom than fruit, though.
Mm.
Maybe we have Rexy try one.
I mean,
Are you hungry?
You say
I'm
you
always
can see down to
hungry.
the microscopic level?
Yeah.
So you can see that from this angle, you can see that one of these actually has a fine score cut around it.
Mm. Can I? How far did I open the thing?
Yeah, that far.
And I can reach one of them.
If your grapple adapters can fit it through, sure.
they're
Grab
just
adapters.
fingers.
Then yes.
All right, so I'm gonna reach.
I was
in.
imagining like those claw toys that like.
You can. I could have
Like-
had those if I wanted to.
like the old people reach stuff across the
Listen,
river.
I could have been Bender. I
went-
chose not to be
You went
Bender,
for
but I
raw
could have been
data.
Bender. I did opt for a little more toward data. So I'm gonna reach in and grab one out. I was like, "Hey guys, check this out. Look, this has been cut in half somehow."
Well, that's not good. Food that's been messed with.
So I'm gonna try to see if I can pull it apart.
Yeah, it just comes apart.
Okay. What did we find inside?
So in the fruit itself is kind of grapefruit size.
Okay.
But there's been a hollowed out point where there would have been like a pit, and instead there is a teeny tiny like satchel of that pink purple powder.
Oh. Can I eat this fruit?
Yes.
Can I eat this fruit?
Yeah, just don't eat the powder. Here.
Yeah, no, I'm
you-
not eating the powder.
I think for eye whites there's only two kinds of things: those which are edible and those which are inedible. And things which are inedible just happen to be larger than your head and can be broken down into
How about
smaller
this?
things,
Okay, all right.
thereby becoming.
How about
edible.
this? I pulled out the little satchel of powder and tossed the fruit on the floor
Why did you?
because I wasn't paying attention.
Don't-
I just tossed it down.
So I get exacerbated, or I get disgusted by the fact that he's thrown this fruit on the floor, which is valuable food item.
But
So
I'm pretty sure you're not offended when if you have to eat fruit. On the floor.
No, for sure not. But I'm
Like,
offended
you
that you
coulda
didn't hand.
handed it to her.
You could have just given it to me. So I'm gonna definitely eat that fruit.
So I think I'm gonna taste this powder
Could-
just to confirm that it's the same.
It's the
As the
same.
other
like,
I look
it's
at
the
it.
same kind of alkaloid.
Could I
Okay.
use a perception check on the powder?
Sure.
Is that a thing? Okay. Yeah.
What,
maybe.
what are you doing with it?
I'm gonna look at it to see if I know what it is,
Okay, y'all. So
because I haven't done that yet.
the fruit then is part
Mother
of.
Borger.
So this
14.
All right. So here's the thing. What do we know about the Europans? Like, do we know anything specific about the Europans? Because if this, before I gleaned that this was something related to the Jupiter moon, this powder, and I'm curious how or why or when the Europans got a hold of this, and why is that relative to Berdowski?
Wait a minute.
I mean,
So these are all going down the gravity well.
Yeah.
So Isa, how do you say his name? Berzentek?
Berzentek, yeah.
Berzentek.
So Berzentek is running Jupiter drugs down to Earth, or or it could be Venus or Mercury
Anywhere below.
There's not much happening on Mercury.
Right. Just saying, it could be Mercury
So
that we know about. All right, this is good.
So he's a middleman here.
Yeah, it seems to be.
So I rolled a 14. Do I know anything more about it than they do?
What were you trying to discern from it?
The powder inside.
If she knows, sorry.
If I know more about it than what we've already discovered.
Like, are you looking at it? Or are you tasting it?
I'm looking at it.
It appears to be the same kind of powder that you guys saw earlier, but there's nothing that you can tell visually from it.
Nothing that I can tell visually. I feel like it's a bad idea to taste it.
Well, he tasted it earlier, and he's immune, so
It's
Yeah,
the same
it's probably.
Immune.
It's the same thing.
I don't want you to get poisoned or anything. You're our charmer. So.
Wait, we don't
I am chow.
we don't know we don't know exactly what it is though.
Correct.
Right. Okay, we just know it comes from Jupiter.
Y'all, if you could,
One of the moons of Jupiter, probably.
Jupiter.
if you could
Okay.
get me
And
back
it's
to the
highly
lab,
alkaline.
I could probably distill its chemical components and figure out, what is relative to this. I'm just saying, like, that's kind of my job.
All
you
right.
know. But at some point, if we can get back to the lab, that'd be great. Because then I might be able to get us some more clues.
Are there other people at the lab that we can interview?
Do we trust
Somehow
anybody?
we need to figure out where exactly these shipments came from.
Yeah, supposedly Europa, but
Yeah.
did they go through anywhere? Did they get dropped off? If somebody's taking something off the top, right, we gotta be worried.
Yep.
Maybe Europa doesn't even know that they've got drugs in them. You know what I'm saying?
How long is it going to take you to run these, Rexy?
I don't know, maybe a day. Maybe not even that, a couple hours.
Do you have a contact that maybe you could have them do it for us while we would continue to investigate?
Well, there's probably one gal I can trust at the lab to not say anything to anybody. Let me see if I can radio her. So I'm gonna radio down to the one person I know. I'm gonna dial her extension on my radio and say, "Hey, is it an okay time to talk?" So I'm gonna try and radio her.
You know it's probably fine to get a hold of her via radio. This probably isn't a conversation you want to have over the radio.
Okay, so I'm gonna.
You may say, "Wake
Right
up,
at
get out
the
of bed,
lab.
and meet me at the lab." But you don't want to be like,
No,
"Hey, I've got this strange substance I discovered that I want you to
Hey, I want you to test this thing. I'm gonna walk it over to you. I'll be here. Yeah, no. I'm gonna
Please intercept me on the way."
yeah, for sure. I'm gonna say to her I need to talk to you at the lab. Can you get over there? And I'll kind of gesture to us that I may need to head back, or we may need to go back to the lab once it's a good time.
All right, I'm gonna pack this crate back, push the top back down on the crate.
Okay.
Grab an extra fruit for Rex.
Before I push the crate back down, I'll grab an extra couple. Now be careful with these; they've got more substance in the middle, and toss them.
Oh
on
yeah,
the
for
crate.
sure. I put that in my
And then
backpack
I'll-
immediately. For science.
Well, we don't know if all of them do. Just you saw one that has a score
Okay.
line. There may be some.
So just
percentage
be
of
careful
For science.
for
For
science.
science.
So put the top back down so that make sure it looks about.
Yeah, it's all copacetic.
So we need to check anything out at the office. I know that's kind of.
We go ask the janitors if they've seen anyone around these.
These pots.
We might.
Well, I already did, and they haven't seen much.
We might lead in
Alright.
with the fact
They've
that
also
we have an
they've moved
affidavit.
on. They're not here
Okay.
anymore.
All right.
Well,
They're dead now.
we can still
You killed somebody else.
They've moved on.
What's
That's passed
wrong
on.
with you?
we can still show our fancy little search warrant and go to the office and demand some info. before we leave, right? Because we didn't do that with what's his face, and he got weird about it.
It's true.
So we can walk in, state our purpose, and say, "Give me what you got."
Give me what you got.
Hey,
I mean, unless we
now
want to find.
I assume there are identifying numbers on the crates.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take note of those, and I would like to go to the shipping records office.
Okay.
And use the flash our credentials to have someone. I assume it's a manned office.
Yeah, there's people there.
So I would like to see the records pertaining to these shipments.
Are you flashing that warrant?
See.
You said your credentials. I didn't know what you had in mind there. You do have CAD agent badges, you are
Yeah, let's
agents.
Yeah, let's
Secret agent.
because this is just for those. I'm just commanded those. This is the quarters and Azakaya, so it's a different. Okay, yeah, let's just flash our badges and be like, hey, we need to see the records pertaining to these shipments.
Oh, yeah. So there's a deck chief there who's in charge of that stuff, and so he kind of snaps his fingers and summons someone lowly and says, "Do you have those numbers here? Like you have them written down, or?"
Yes, yeah. I took note of them on my data pad.
He takes them and he's like, "Go find these."
Okay.
So he's sitting there, just kind of sitting at coffee. He doesn't do much. He does that. That's his job.
Yeah.
Go do these things.
So he didn't look at them. He just passed the numbers. He didn't care. Okay. Well, I mean,
I'm just thinking internally, if we show up with a search warrant and he's scouting off to somebody else who's got to go do that work, right? Maybe they go flag and let him know. I'm just whispering this into your ear on the side, that gives somebody stall time to go alert somebody.
Yeah, but if he didn't even look at the numbers, if he basically was just here.
All right, I'm just keeping my eyes open.
No, I that's legit.
Maybe I should hang out with him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, we're not.
Do that thing you do.
I mean, the chief is actually not going to let you in further to the records room. He will stop you if you try. But and the other dude is pissed off looking for your records.
I'll just hang out here.
Is there anything else we need?
I mean, you could try to chat him up.
So how long have
Body language.
So how long have you been here on this station?
On the station? 2 years now. Two standard Earth years now.
Is your lady here with you, or is she, alone on Earth?
Nah, she's with every asshole in Newark.
Oh man, she must miss you so much.
We don't miss each other anymore. Do you always start conversations this way?
No, not always. Sometimes
You got anything painful in your past I can bring up we can talk about?
We're not going to talk about my past. My past is irrelevant. It's really very uninteresting. I'm holding on to your hand.
You're not.
I was a courtesan to a very wealthy man, but sadly he passed away.
I'm scanning the place.
I mean, it's just the entrance area to a records room. There's card catalogs, and this.
Are there other workers? Are there other people
What's a suspicious
doing
amount
things?
of time for this guy to be gone?
Right.
I mean, it's unclear. You would assume the records are well organized. It's been a couple of minutes. It's probably longer than you would expect to wait. But it's been a couple of minutes.
I'm just saying, I'm real curious about what's going on here and why we're waiting this long. So I'm looking around at all the potential options.
So I take the warrant and I'm like, what? We're just trying to do a job here. So I don't know if maybe we should go check on your soldier here, maybe.
And let me see one.
It's pretty important stuff.
I'm gonna lean over and point to this section.
Air Vice Marshal Elliott.
He would be very displeased if you didn't do whatever you could to help us.
Yeah, well, he works for the Queen, and I work for the U.S. of A., so...
I am a rocket ranger. I'm familiar with the U.S. of A., sir.
This is neither Izakaya Ida or the personal quarters of Baraz, this guy of Europa, so you can take your warrant, and you can stay right there and wait for your records to come back. I'm more than willing to help you out, but don't throw me some bullshit paper.
What's that?
He calls someone else over, leans in, has a quiet conversation. You can probably pick it up. He's like, "Where is that dude? Tell him to hurry up and get out here. We're waiting. I need these people out of my office." So he sends another runner to come back. A few seconds pass. They both come back. I see.
Can I perform a
Your records are
perception
missing. I don't know where they are, but I don't have these records.
Can we do that's a
perception check on him?
yeah, that insight?
Yeah,
No.
yeah, you can ask if you believe him. It's an insight check.
Alright.
Okay.
Yes, so here's the thing, sir. According to my records, I don't really
Garbage.
need any warrant
Oh, shit.
to come look
Plus-
in your shipping
plus
decks and get some information here. So, what do you got?
I got a bunch of men with guns who disagree with you if you try to walk past this desk, but I don't have your records, and you believe him. I don't know what they happened. You can report that to the air marshal. You can report that to whoever is running CAD these days. I don't have your records. If I had them, I'd give them to you.
Honey, we're not trying to upset you.
Well, you just threatened to storm past my desk, so you're not trying to upset me. You did upset me.
We're just telling you what we could do.
Like, you slowly, as his voice gets raised, you see other people kind of trickling in.
What kind of people?
Soldier people.
Yeah, I think maybe we should leave here and leave these gentlemen to their duties. We are clearly upset.
What is a significant amount of money?
So it's 1938. So at this time, like an ounce of gold is $25, I think, $25. Today
Okay.
it's $1,800.
Okay.
So if you were on Earth, your $100 salaries would be exorbitant. But you're at the edge of the frontier, and frontier prices are always expensive.
Yeah.
So like $100 is a good amount of money.
Okay.
But it doesn't go nearly as far out in the station as it would on Earth.
So you want to throw him some, like, oh, let me take care of this. I'll give you like a tenner.
He looks at it.
Is this for your troubles?
I don't have any troubles that cost $10.
We meant you no
Get out of my
harm.
office.
All right. Never mind.
He slides the $10 back to you.
And she rolls a nat 1. Unintended.
I rolled a 20 on my.
You believe him. When he told you, like, if he had the records, he'd give
I
it to you.
believe that he's an asshole.
All right, I think this guy's a straight shooter. Let's
He's
get
an
the
asshole,
hell
but
out
he
of
may be
here.
an honest asshole.
All right, we got to go check someplace else. So what do we know? We know we got some
Jupiter dust.
Jupiter dust. I like that. We're gonna call it Jupiter dust.
I wish I'd named it that. Shit.
Got some Jupiter
Some
dust.
Jupiter dust.
Maybe later we figure out what it is. and
We
do
got some
something.
missing records.
Sprinkle some dust on it.
Maybe these are the missing records. All right. Let's go.
We going to the lab?
Yeah, we gotta go to the lab.
We
All
gotta
right,
go
go
to
check
the
the
lab.
lab. We go drop the stuff off, right? It's gonna take you a while.
It's gonna take
Gonna
me
take-
probably a couple hours.
It depends what you want to do with it.
I want to like disseminate what kind of compound this is.
But are you gonna do it, or is your lab assistant gonna do
Your
it, or is
lab
she just
assistant.
letting you use the lab?
Well, it's my lab. Like
Oh.
it's my lab.
She's gonna help you.
She's gonna, yeah, maybe she'll do some of the grunt work if we've got somewhere else to be.
I just wondered if we could leave her there and we can go check. We still have the bridge to check.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna like, after we get there, I'm gonna tell her that I want the chemical components. Like I want to know the chemical breakdown. I want to know if there's any kind of other known chemical that's like this, right? If there's other substances that has this resemblance, and where this is used, if she can find that.
Okay. That will take some time.
How long time we talking?
A couple hours,
All
at
right,
least.
all right. Couple hours. She'll do it while we're gone.
All right.
All right, let's head to the bridge.
So the bridge on the space station, on the Astro Station, is actually this like hemispherical module that runs on tracks, and it can go on any ring, any pathway. There are tracks that run all over it, so it can like swoop around the station. It's not located in any one spot. You can find out like where it is, and you can meet it somewhere, or you can ask it to meet you at some place. But it's this kind of ever-moving, three-tiered hemispherical thing. So it can move around if there's like a defense situation, like boom, it'll whip over to that part of the station, put out planes. If there's like other kinds of problems. It can move to different parts of the station.
Right. All right, so let's have an out of character conversation for a moment.
Okay.
So we have the air marshal or the vice marshal of the station looking for a shipment that could possibly be drugs.
Yeah.
That Izakaya,
Bernstock? Yeah.
that guy,
Burt Reynolds.
is likely helping him move.
Well, maybe.
And now he's missing.
He's missing that, and that's the thing. Like maybe he didn't know about it, and that's why he's missing now. Like
maybe he's the middleman who sends it downstream.
Well, likely, but the vice marshal may be running drugs through the station
through his restaurant. He didn't know it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, maybe he didn't know it.
And that's why he's disappeared.
No. He would have known about it, right? It's in his personal. It was in that shelf.
Yeah, but
no. He found out about it.
Yes, and so he's like tracking this and going. This.
So
he's
investigating. Maybe the vice marshal got rid of him because he found out about it and was getting too close.
Okay. All right.
So he's one of those meddling kids.
So if we go to the bridge, okay. What is who's on the bridge? What purpose does the bridge serve on this station?
If it were a ship, the bridge steers the ship, charts the course, does all of that.
Flight deck?
However, there's also a flight deck component, so it contains like a quick reaction force of rockets. It contains like an artillery barrage, and it contains like navigational and communications equipment.
Okay.
So it is roughly similar to the bridge of like a naval vessel, but it has some other kind of quick reaction force-esque components. Do you guys need to take a moment?
No, that's okay. So if we go to the bridge, we need to. I'm trying to figure out. Like, we don't have information on what the stuff is yet. We don't have enough information to point fingers at anybody.
Do you want to?
You do know that the air vice marshal is the kind of the client. He's probably here, but you would also know that since this is kind of played close to the vest, that you shouldn't walk in there and be like, "Excuse me, sir, about your investigation that you were keeping."
Okay, so there's a list of people that maybe we should like.
No, these potential contacts are in other places. They're not on the station. The contacts, we have a list of potential contacts and locations: Europa, Venus, Earth, Poland, and England. But we're not going to be able to talk to any of those people here. So anyway, I just wanted to recap where we were and figure out what we're going to do when we get to the station or to the bridge. So maybe our plan should be to try to meet at least one of us. I don't know, all of us. I don't know how the vice marshal handles himself, but we should try to maybe chat with him and catch him up on where we are.
Yeah.
Maybe he knows something we don't know.
I guarantee you he knows something we don't know.
Okay.
The question is what?
I know many things you don't know.
And will he have us murdered for knowing anything?
So we need to...
He had to know we were going to find this.
Well, but Yanto is a European but he is on the ship. So maybe these other people are on the ship. That doesn't, just because like it tells you where they're from doesn't mean.
Oh, did I miss that? Is that the guy that we talked to? My bad.
Okay.
Oh yeah, those are just their places of origin. So we don't know who they are.
So maybe we talk to somebody who knows.
Oh yeah, I'm stupid. I misunderstood that. So is there a universal registry, like you can tell where people live on the ship? Like, is
like
there
a phone book of their location?
Yeah.
That information can be had, yeah.
Okay.
The yellow pages.
The space pages?
As it were.
Do we know anything about any of these characters? Any of these other...
Which in particular?
Vrushnok. So Vrushnok is from Venus. He may know the Venusians on the ship, or if he thinks someone should be...
He might be interested to know that people have that.
That's what I'm saying. He might have heard that somebody's impersonating a Venusian.
He might be a good person to
So he's the only one. So we know drugs may be going to Earth, or a substance may be going to Earth.
Can I see your orders real quick?
But we're not sure what the Venusian would. So maybe we go chat with him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm worried about going to the Vice Air Marshal and looking like a fool.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we should be careful.
Sorry, I realized I
going to the
phrased that
marshal.
situation that it would be reasonable to think they're in those places, but that's not what I
I
intended.
bet that was a long-term thing. Like we
No,
were,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was my mistake. That was just bad
Gotcha.
wording on my
Not a problem. It is solved. Can we if we can find out if that's information we can just have, then
You can find out where most of those people would like live and work.
Okay.
If they're there at any particular one time, is
okay.
Can
we would like to figure that out for this Rushnok.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rusnak is actually, you can find that pretty easily. He's actually not a permanent resident of the ship.
Okay.
So he's actually staying in something akin to like guest quarters, which for the Venusians is actually just like an unconverted barracks area.
Okay.
The guest quarters basically don't get their own rooms. They're put in these sort of barracks environments. But it's where he's at now is you don't have to go look for him.
So we should go do some talking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or apprehending or whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
So we can go to his quarters. What do quarters look like? Is there a bell? Do you knock on the door?
These are just like open quarters, so they're like barracks. So it's just like rows of basically bunks with trunks at the bottom.
Okay.
Bunks and trunks.
Okay.
Bunkin' and trunkin'.
Which I hadn't said that. But
Bunks and trunks, bro.
Bunks and trunks. Berta.
Just total bunks and trunks.
Bunks, trunks, and drunks.
All right. I want to find his bunk and see if he's there.
okay. He actually is at the moment. So
He is?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna need your charm, Daisy, in just a moment.
I'll be back.
So I just want to ask him how much time he spends on the ship. Like, do you like generally like conversationally? You know how much? Well, let's just introduce ourselves and show our badges. Hey, we're conducting an investigation.
Do any of you speak Venusian?
Oh shit.
What?
Do any of us speak Venusian?
What do I speak?
I have English, Ancient Martian, Ganymedian, and European. If he speaks any of those.
Lol, I need to check.
None of those.
I totally didn't even think about languages.
Yeah, I speak High and Low
Sorry.
Martian, English, Russian, German, and Ancient Martian.
Well,
He speaks bad low Martian.
bad low Martian.
Okay, so I can talk to him a little bit about some stuff.
So you come in and start talking at him, and he just kind of looks at you and like just goes back to whatever he's doing.
Do data pads work as translators? There's no way to get around that.
They share low Martian.
Okay.
So, what am I supposed to ask him?
That's a good question. You let him know we're doing an investigation.
We're investigating some things,
That doesn't seem helpful.
and we may need your help.
Actually, we don't know what she's saying, so we're just like.
There are potential Venusians involved, but we have some suspicions that maybe there are people pretending to be Venusians, and we thought maybe you might have some interest in this.
Real Venusian.
Good job. What else do you want to ask
So-
him?
What did he say?
He said he's a real Venusian.
Ask him. Are there not real Venusians on the ship?
Are you aware of people pretending to not be Venusians?
No.
He is not aware, and I didn't think he would be. That's a dumb question.
Rusnak sell gold. Need gold?
You need gold.
No. Sell gold. You need gold.
I think he wants his jewelry into gold.
No. So we need to talk to Rushnook.
That's Rushnook. That's who we're talking to.
Oh, that's him? Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Want to buy gold?
How much gold do you have?
How much gold do you have?
Now?
Sure.
Venus, big planet. Lots of gold.
Well, I don't know what we're asking him. What are we asking him?
What?
How much gold do you need?
Why is he one of our known contacts?
I don't know. Maybe we jumped the gun on this one. I'll take responsibility for that.
Potential contacts and locations.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. We know nothing about this guy.
Let's look at a.
Okay, so if there's gold on there, is there anything?
You guys are generally aware that like most of the non-Earth planets are kind of frontier-like in the setting, and Venus is like resource rich, and Earth and Mars are kind of competing to and Europa to colonize it, and kind of extract that wealth. The trouble is they're like giant dinosaur-like lizards and bugs, and it is like a really inhospitable place.
Right.
But it is incredibly resource rich. So it's unsurprising that Baruchnak is trying to sell you gold. Like that's kind of part of the
Baruchnak,
process.
ask him what he's doing here.
We don't need any gold.
Oh, well, go away.
No. But we need information from you. We might be able to provide you some gold in exchange for information.
What does he need? Ask him.
Baruchnak from Venus, lots of gold.
What do you need? What can we do for
Money
you?
for gold?
You want money?
What kind of money?
Dollars?
We can provide you dollars. We need information.
Daisy, we don't have that many dollars.
I have dollars to worry about.
Okay, all right. I got 11, so that's
I got
my
dollars.
meager sum.
So what were we gonna ask him?
This guy, he doesn't know anything.
No, he does know things. We need to ask him.
We need to know how he's connected.
He knows where the gold is.
There's okay. Are you familiar with a lot of the
Brishnak, what the hell's the
shipments
guy's
that are
name?
going in and out of this place? People trying to get things from Venus. You are familiar with the trade.
Ask him if he knows Brazantak.
Do you know Brazantak?
Fish guy.
That's him.
Have you seen him recently?
2 weeks. 2 weeks past.
It's been 2 weeks, guys.
Ask him how he knows him.
Dollars.
My goodness, I'll give you $1. It's not that one. Your information isn't worth that much. You give me information, I'll give it more dollars.
2 weeks.
Ask him.
How does he know him?
How do you know him?
Sell gold. Barzantak.
He sold gold to him. So apparently,
What was he getting in return?
what was he getting for the gold?
No, what was he getting?
What are you getting for the gold?
Dollars.
Somehow I knew that was coming.
Barzantak buy. Barzantak sell. Many goods. Many dollars.
Many goods. What are some of the goods?
But you're not just exchanging dollars and gold.
Ask him
Yeah,
if he
yes.
sells anything else. Hey, does he sell anything else?
Yeah, what
than
else
gold?
does he sell?
What else do you sell?
Gold.
Yes.
Only gold.
Only gold. Apparently he's only giving out gold. This guy is driving me nuts.
Can you tell if someone in speaking the language is lying? It's that.
You can make it. I mean, you can't know. Like,
No.
you'd have to be able to parse the semantic content.
We need to be able to ask him good questions. I don't know what to ask him.
Hey, gold salesman, what do you do? Sell gold. What do you get? Money. What do you do with that? Sell more gold.
Who's he selling gold to right now? Or like, who's his recent client?
Okay, so it's been 2 weeks since you've seen Bruce,
Brazantak.
that guy. Who
Fish
have you,
guy. Let's call him fish
Fish
guy.
fish guy. Who have you most recently sold gold to?
Brysentuck. Fish guy.
It's been 2 weeks.
Owes money. Needs dollars.
Business is bad for you?
No, Brysentuck need give me dollars. Already has gold.
He owes him money.
Who was giving you dollars most recently?
No one. Brysentuck owe dollars.
How many dollars?
He's here to collect. He is here to collect money from Zentalk.
How much?
How much does he owe you?
How much does he owe you?
He like pulls out a small book. $843.
Yikes. That's a lot of gold.
Dollars.
What you said gold is
About $25 an ounce.
$25 an ounce. That's
Who is this? Brushnock?
it's a pound of gold.
Me.
Yes, owed to him. So like $800. That
42.
842. Okay.
842.
Yeah, I got it. Burnstock.
Burnstock. That's his name from now. It's Burnstock. We're just gonna call him Burnstock. Fish guy. I'm gonna say fish guy.
Fish guy.
Fish guy.
Bernie.
I'm gonna put air quotes here. Fish
Fish
guy. Vinny the fish guy.
All right.
Bernie. I think we pretty much know what we need to know from him, right?
Okay.
At the
Does
moment.
he know? Ask him if he knows any of the other Venusians on the ship.
Oh, okay, so I'm gonna hand him another dollar. Do you know any other Venusians on the ship?
Now?
Yeah.
No. Only Brushnock. No Venusians.
Are there regularly Venusians on the ship?
They come, they go.
But right now, only.
When is the last time you saw a Venusian on this ship?
Other than you. Other than him.
Other than you.
Long time.
Would you be aware if there were Venusians on the ship?
Maybe.
Alright. I'll give you another $3. He's got $5.
You tell him thanks.
Thank you for your information, and I hope that you might be helpful later. We'll bring back more dollars.
Maybe buy gold. Good investment.
What do we do with gold? Come on.
Sell it. I
We're
mean,
just gonna give him dollars. That's all he wants.
He's like counting the $5.
God.
Penning it in his book.
It's like talking to a cat.
You guys barely share a language.
hey, we got information out of him.
You have no idea how smart this guy is in Venusian. Just none of you speak Venusian.
He's still all right.
I don't know if I do or not, I guess.
How smart are you in French?
Can we out of character for a second? So now we know that.
He's not aware that there have been any Venusians on the ship recently.
Yeah, but
That
he's
doesn't mean he would or not, but
he seemed pretty confident though that he was the only Venusian on the ship currently.
seemed fairly
He's been waiting for Fish Guy to pay him for 2 weeks, and I think in
Fish
that
Guy's
time
probably
he would
avoiding
know if another Venusian had come on the ship. So that seems to me fairly reliable information. That is probably information we can go talk to the Vice Admiral about. That why would Europans be impersonating Venusians to steal from the Vice Marshal?
we think that the Europans?
Well, but Fish Guys are European, and there was a monkey mask in his. I'm just dumbing this right down. Fish Guy was European. There's a monkey mask in his desk. So either he found that and is aware that other Europans are.
But if we're under the assumption that Fish Guy is not, he was unaware of what was going on and discovered it.
We don't
that's
know.
Why he's
We don't know.
yes.
Either
but
he's
we were,
part of it or he's found out the plot and was killed. Was he found out by the Vice Marshal? Was he found out by?
So why would he have that mask in his desk if all of those things were true?
He might have found it. He might have been putting together evidence. He had the Venus or the Jupiter powder. He had the mask. He could have been just throwing it out there. I don't know. This is a scenario. We could go either way still. Let's just be aware moving
I
forward.
wonder if he has any friends on the ship. Fish
Who?
Guy.
That's a good question. We don't have any other contacts.
We don't have any other Europans other than Yanto. Yanto is the host at the
Yanto.
Right? Yeah. Alright, back in.
Alright.
Hey guys, I think it's time we go talk to the Vice Air Marshal.
We should maybe pull him aside and see if he's aware that maybe there are people on the ship impersonating Venusians.
Yeah, I agree. Does the side note? How closely does the station track the comings and goings of people on it and their species or anything like that?
Anyone coming onto the station basically needs permission to do so.
Okay.
That is changing somewhat. Like they can basically get something akin to like a ticket or a visa.
Okay.
That information can be relayed via radio, but like there shouldn't be people just appearing on the ship. If that occurred, it would be like an invasion and it would be treated as such. There's a shipping dock, like people can land a ship there, get permission to board and board. Like the ship is like moving its function from this military vessel to this kind of commercial vessel. So like it's in this weird in between stage where if you piss someone off, like lots of soldiers show up versus like trying to facilitate communications. There's an in between.
But it's unlikely that somebody has an exact number of Venusians currently on board or Europans currently on board.
That number should be available.
Yeah, if there's.
But it might not be
ships.
publicly available.
Okay.
There's
Alright.
ships coming in, right? Like you should know
Okay.
who and what.
It would probably take some in general. There's probably not a person who's necessarily has one sheet of paper with that information. It probably gets tabulated like as a daily report. X number of souls on board from these number of
Should have
places.
asked about that
There's
when
like
we were on the
probably a
paper
personnel
bed.
manifest, but it's probably not. It's not like a computer database where you
It
can.
wouldn't be in the cargo bay though. This would probably be something on a bridge function or something like akin
Or some
to
administrative office.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
administrative office.
Oh.
Hey, that's is it an administrative office? Is that something we can go?
There's an admin where there's
What if
legions of clerks.
what if we go to the admin office and see the comings and goings, the official comings and goings of Venusians, so we can get a little more information.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right.
Sure, you can make your way to the admin office.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that stuff is kind of located on the outer ring, which is kind of still the more militarized place, but also where the personnel quarters are, as the ship kind of is in flux. So the admin office is kind of like any office where there's a front desk and there's lots and lots of people moving about, lots of paperwork getting shifted.
Ministry manager.
But it's there's no transistors, right? So it's all paper based.
So I'm assuming there's an admin, like a secretary.
Yeah, there's like a personnel serviceman that you can meet at the front.
So I'd like to flash my badge and be like, we're conducting an investigation and we need some information on the comings and goings of Venusians and Europans over the last several weeks.
Trends.
Like a daily report of like a daily
Yeah.
manifest. From what time period?
Let's do the last 3 weeks.
3 weeks. What specifically do you need to know?
We need to know the number of Venusians and Europans leaving and entering the station.
Broken down by day or by week?
By day.
Is there anything else we need?
It'll take me a little bit to pull those. I can get that. The information from today is not yet compiled, but I can give you a rough number.
Okay.
Give me like an hour.
Okay. How long did our trek to what's his name?
It's probably been about
Fresh.
two hours since you sent your report in. You could check in with that person if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So leave them there and go back and check with your.
Yeah. I'll radio ahead and ask anything. Ask if there's
Are there any developments?
leads,
Yeah.
developments. Not to disclose it over the radio, but like, should I come back in and talk?
Yeah, there's some preliminary results.
Let's check it out.
Let's head back to the lab.
Excellent.
Thank God. I have some food back there. I just want to make sure.
So tell me about your helper in the lab.
So my helper in the lab, she's kind of my assistant helper, like my technician
Is she
person.
an Iowite as well?
No, she is. She's an earthen person. She's from
Human?
yeah, she's an earthen person. This is my Iowite talking. She's a human.
She be earthen.
She earthen. She's a human person. She's from the US of A proper. But over time she has proven herself in the lab to be fairly trustworthy. So
Does she have a name?
Huh?
Does she have a name?
I don't know, what's a human name? Out of character.
Jane.
Rosie?
The Rivetta?
No, that's not where I was going.
Rosie G.
Jane works.
There was no World War II.
This is Jane. We better talk to Jane.
Okay.
So she's been here a while, the longest of all of the other assistants, which is why I trust her a little bit more, but she also makes smart choices. So, yeah, I'm gonna call back into Jane and then go see her at the lab and also get some grub.
Cool. So she pulls you aside and she's like, it's weird. It's actually like a complex molecule. It dissolves in alcohol. It behaves strangely. It's like kind of like an alkaloid. It's probably a poison. Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it before.
So probably a poison, not a drug.
Most drugs are poisons.
Well,
So when you say it
but the
dissolves,
relative toxicity.
when it dissolves in alcohol, as in like the effects are nil?
Like we have like lab grade ethanol that we use to dissolve stuff. It dissolves really well in alcohol.
Oh, okay.
So like most stuff does. Like it's
It's a
organic.
dissolvent.
It's presumably organic, I guess, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay.
But I haven't seen it before.
Is there anything else that's similar to this structure out in the ether space?
Not that I've seen.
Okay.
But I mean, I got limited resources here, you know.
So this is like an entirely new compound. It's not something that.
To me, yes, I'm sure someone knows what it is. Not me though.
Okay.
Like I could probably reasonably say that it's not something that I've encountered before, so it's probably not from Earth.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Like, we have a suspicion that it's from Jupiter, but we need to know like how that is and why it's important. You know,
with
like
the side effects though.
No, I didn't take it.
Maybe pay somebody to. It might help. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's pay people to no, not on that.
yeah, we're not gonna do that. That's bad lab protocol. But
It's a joke.
all right. So we've got enough now that we think it's very basically some kind of alkaloid poison. And
Yeah, it could be a drug, could be a poison. I don't know. It's something organic, I think. That's all I got. Like I've never seen it before.
Dissolves in an alcoholic drink?
Most stuff dissolves in alcohol. It's a pretty good solvent.
so no idea like how this could be useful.
I don't think I'm smart enough to know
No.
anything.
Okay.
All right.
Would I be able to determine this if I sat out of character? If I sat some time in the lab?
Determine what?
Like
What it is.
how it's being used, like what kind of function
Well, so
it
it's
could be helpful for.
It's 1938 with some slightly enhanced technology.
Yeah.
So basically, we don't have a. I'm assuming like we don't have like a gas chromatograph, so you couldn't like figure out. When's gas chromatograph invented?
I don't know.
You probably that might be possible to do like some chromatography, and then you could determine the structure, but that still might not tell you
Yeah.
exactly what
Its
it was,
use.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I mean, if we
And the way that something that is non-terrestrial behaves in a human nervous system versus a European versus a Venusian versus a Martian, like I don't think that there's nothing that Jane is going to be able to do to predict that, like whether it's
no, I know, but
it's a poison or a drug or salt, you know, like something equivalent to a seasoning for food, like it's totally.
But like if somebody knew like the structure of heroin, you know, and then or morphine, and then you gave them heroin,
right, because
it's-
they would know that it's similar, it would bind to similar receptors, but that might not. That's only because we know a lot about the human brain. Like I probably don't know enough about how
That's true. Okay.
how it will work in some other organisms.
So we need to investigate more.
Mhm.
Investigate.
so I'm gonna tell Jane to keep plugging away at this and see whatever details she can pull up. If she needs to do some outside research, do it on the down low. Like, for sure, down low.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't just go asking anybody about it, but, you know, radio me if she has questions and I'll come back.
Sure. We've basically hit my limit of knowledge about stuff like that. And this non-existent substance. So I don't know that I'm going to be able to tell you much more.
Hi.
Well, Jane should be able to.
Yes, but I need to know things to tell Jane. So.
For next episode.
Kevin goes and learns about mass spectrography.
About Jupiter dust.
Gas chromatography, probably.
Sure.
Yeah, Jupiter.
I studied
Yes.
linguistics, man.
Sprinkle some Jupiter dust on it.
All right.
So, just real quick, y'all, out of character, maybe, so we've been talking about going to see the bike.
Air Marshal.
Air Vice
Elliot.
Marshal.
Yes.
Or Air
But
Force.
also, so if there's this like drug that's moving through here, maybe, you know, it might be beneficial to go talk to the authorities on the station.
He is the authorities.
Who is?
The Vice Air Marshal he runs the station.
Air Vice Marshal.
Okay, so fine. So we need to know
Whatever.
if people have died.
Did I get that backwards?
It's like a specific rank in a row.
I tried to write it down right, and then I just flipped it on the paper.
It's
Vice
AVM.
Air
It's
Marshal
AVM, and it does look backwards. So.
Elliot.
All right.
So we need to
the Air
know
Vice
maybe if
Marshal.
like
Got it.
people have died or people have been like acting weird, like or
Is there a
arre-
medical bay on the
like
station?
arrested
Yeah.
for like being.
How about we go to
drunk
the
or
medical bay?
Drugged.
All right, I could use some medical bay. I'm down to like
There's
4
no-
hit points.
There's no food there.
No, but I need to use a med kit, and I've got limited supplies.
All right, let's go to the med bay.
Med bay, yeah. It's sort of like a Sandals resort, but for medicine.
So go to the med bay.
Yeah, mostly they hand out aspirin and water and tell people to change their socks.
No,
but,
come on.
Have they? But this is no. Like, all right. Well, we'll ask.
No, there's folks here. Like there's,
Oh.
but there's not like any long-term patients in care. But there's medical officers.
But
and stuff.
those officers got to know something, right? Like statistically.
We
Yeah.
don't
So
know
find
if
out
people
who
have died.
we know who's in charge there, and find them.
Yeah. There's like a medical chief who's here.
All right. So have you have you had anyone come in with
Poison.
unusual symptoms
Or any deaths
in the
recently?
last few weeks?
Really just the typical stuff that we see from
Yes,
cases: overexertion, tired, a little bit of alcohol poisoning every once in a while.
Dirty socks.
Yeah,
Alcohol.
dirty socks.
You said alcohol poisoning. Is that a common thing on the ship?
Yeah, I mean it's a really rough, stressful environment for some of these guys, and their circadian rhythms are all screwed up. So they caffeine all day to stay up, alcohol all night to go to sleep.
Have
It's
you
pretty
seen
typical.
that more recently lately?
I don't think I've seen an uptick or anything, but I'm not like I don't have those numbers
No.
directly.
Have you seen any deaths lately?
On the ship? No.
Is there anything out of the usual? Any poisonings that people are complaining about, or anything?
Extra
Untoward.
upset stomach?
No, I hand out a lot of band-aids and aspirin. I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. It's not like there's open combat in the ship very often.
Inside, I'm thinking. So what is it that you do here?
What would you say you
You
do
do
here?
here.
I hand out aspirin and water. I don't know why everyone has like this weird New York accent right now.
Josie.
That was my accent.
It's infectious.
I'm going to make a perception check to see if they're lying. If I can
That would be an
tell.
insight check.
Is it insight? Yes, insight. That is a 19.
You believe him?
Okay.
Good job.
All right. Well,
You wasted a 19.
we've been beating around this bush, but let's go check with the Air Vice Marshal. I think it's
All right.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, one more stop back in to the records department
What do we need
Just
from
see-
record? Oh,
Which records department?
to find out the comings and goings of
The ones we
species on the
angered.
ship.
Yeah, enough time that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he basically gives you a form that lets you know there's like 4,700 souls on board, plus or minus about 50 a day. At any point in time, like there's currently 16 Europans on board, one Venusian.
that's it.
They've changed like the Venusian or the Europans come and go, maybe 2 to 6 a day. So the actual particular ones have not been here that long. There have been no Venusians to come or go during that time except for the one who arrived.
Excellent. All right.
This seems very suspicious.
Although they would know that they received a report that there was 5 Venusians on board today. But those people did not check in because the fight that you had earlier.
Right. Okay.
I'm wondering how Venusians might get on the ship and nobody knows.
I don't think they were
On the
Venusians.
station. That's what I'm saying.
All right. I think this is information we need to take to the Air Vice Marshal.
Agree.
All right. So let's go to the bridge.
All right.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Hi.
All
Kimchi.
opposed? Vax is getting hangry.
I'm angry.
So the command module is three stories. It's hemispherical shaped. The bottom one is basically a quick reaction force of rocket fighters. They also do like cap patrols. So some are not here, some come and go. So that's roughly the layout of that. What's up?
Nothing.
That's roughly the layout of that floor. The second floor is basically the actual bridge from where the ship is like flown. What's funny?
The dog.
A dog.
Oh, I can't hear
Slight
it.
whimper.
And the third tier is basically artillery. So it's 420mm cannons.
Fancy spaceships
that
that Kevin drew out.
can floor it. So that's
Instead
the
of fishes.
that's the deal.
Okay. So we enter on the second floor?
You
that what
enter on the third floor and then go up.
Okay. So I think we should find the Vice Air Marshal and try to discreetly Air Vice Marshal. Screwed up again.
AVM.
I'm gonna look down every time.
I'm just gonna send you a Royal Air Force enlisted and officer ranking Wikipedia article to read before next game.
Yep, I got homework. Thanks. Let's just go find the AVM.
The Vice Air Marshal.
Air Vice Marshal.
AVM. Air Vice
Air
Marshal.
Vice Marshal.
Did you write it down wrong too?
Apparently.
Vice President, President Vice.
So yeah, he's here on the deck doing officer things,
Sir,
which is nothing.
if you have a moment we'd
Of
like
your
to speak
time,
with
we
you,
would like to tell you.
discreetly.
Are you like flash a badge or anything? 'Cause he's like, how'd you get on the deck?
Yeah, like we could just show him our.
Maybe
our...
I grab his arm. Like I have
Well,
done so
no,
many
he
times.
knows that we're.
Yeah, but he's okay with that
investigating.
because I'm
Is he?
sweet like
Is he
that.
okay with that?
I mean, has he pulled away yet?
I did actually. So you show him like a badge
Yeah.
or something.
Fine.
Yeah.
Like, I see. I need the deck, clear the deck, and people scatter.
Okay.
And so in a very short order, it's just you and him.
All right.
Am I
So
still holding
Did
it?
Lily send you? Are you working on?
yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah,
And we've got some information.
yeah. We have some information. So, I don't know if you know, but Brzantak is missing. Has been missing for at least 5 days.
Burt Reynolds.
Who is that?
The proprietor of the izakaya.
The fusion
Oh, it's a
restaurant.
Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
He's missing.
He's missing.
Also,
Did you report that to the Royal Military Police?
We have not yet. We're in the middle of our
Close
investigation.
to the vest. So when initially we were downstairs,
You have not yet reported it.
We have not yet reported it.
Initially, we were downstairs and we saw what we thought were several Venusians carrying out some very heavy cargo. It turns out there has only been one Venusian on this space station.
Yeah, we've been investigating that as well. We think that they landed a ship away from a dock and basically were able to sneak in.
But we've also found this very compelling mask here.
We have some suspicions that they may not actually have been Venusians.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. And have you decided who that might be?
We have not yet. But it seems suspicious that Brzantak is missing, and this mask that we found is connected to him.
Can I do an insight check on
Sure.
him? That's straight insight. Okay. Wisdom. 16.
Yeah, he seems. I mean, he's pretty hard to read, but he seems. Yeah.
He's genuine. He's not like, oh, Burnsack is missing.
No,
So-
he
Okay, alright.
doesn't know who that is.
Okay, all right.
Out of character. This guy probably knows pretty much everything that's going on the ship.
Right.
But there's almost 5,000 people on board. He probably doesn't.
That's a
have
small
one thing.
town.
Right, but
You
he's
still know what's
also
going
going to
on.
be able to basically lie on a whim if he wants to.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm like insight checking him.
So, but his insight check, it may be higher. So just be aware as we talk to him. I'm trying to not give him all the information,
that's
like explicitly
like
what we've done.
no powder and that shit. Yeah.
So,
all of that's very interesting, and you should immediately report that to the Royal Police as soon as we do this meeting. But have you found my missing cargo? Because that's actually the instructions. Yeah.
Yes, there's all the instructions. We
But
have.
you've been doing this other thing.
Well, it's
No, we are definitely searching for your cargo, but there's more than, I mean, we don't know what the cargo is. We
So
don't
from
know.
our records, from our search at the records down in the cargo hold, they lost the records of the shipment. So
Of my shipment.
they have nothing.
Okay.
They have no information about that shipment.
we don't know that that's his shipment. We don't have any connection between what his shipment is.
You've actually asked no one about his shipment. You immediately began investigating Berzatak and
We did.
off
Well,
your
we
base.
did. We asked Yentak,
we never-
but he didn't know anything about it.
We never
So we
got
did ask somebody, motherfucker.
we never got a list of like what was missing though, right? From what's her face?
No, it's it
From
would.
our boss?
From Lily? She
Yeah,
doesn't
no.
know.
No.
She doesn't know what's in it.
She just knows that it's missing.
Okay. So I'm gonna spin it. This is out of character still. So we know that some shipments have gone missing. But we need to know exactly what you're missing or what kind of shipment, where it came from, where it was going, in order to fully get the details on your goods.
Right,
to
we
see.
can understand if you don't want to share with us exactly what
Sure.
it is,
But we need some kind of lead here.
Any information you can give us would be very helpful.
Yeah, this was a shipment of goods that were mined that were sent up from Earth. So it's just, family thing, favorite food.
From
I don't know if you've tried to get Jif peanut butter down at the commissary. It's not happening. So it's just basic stuff like that. I can give you the number that's attached to that shipment.
Mostly
Yeah, that'd be great.
get you down there. It's not good.
All right, so he hands you the number.
Okay. What's his name again? Out of character.
Elliot.
Grayson Elliott.
Grayson.
Oh, yeah, he looks like this. Sorry.
How do you address the AVM?
Air Vice Marshal or Sir.
Okay.
If you don't know someone's ranking, Sir is always fine. They'll correct you if you're wrong.
Got you. Okay. Anyway, sir, we thought the relevant information is that we've discovered is there may be Europans impersonating Venusians on the ship.
Europans or, somebody else. But somebody is probably impersonating the Venusians.
I mean, the Europans are generally pretty an untrustworthy bunch, so they've got their own plans and missions, so it's entirely possible. I'll go ahead and feed that down into my intelligence agency, and we'll see how that goes.
All right.
The Europans aren't all bad.
Do you have any updates about my shipment?
No,
No, we're working on it.
We needed this lead to get further in our research.
we
so-
have some other information, but we don't want to present it.
We're not ready yet.
Yeah.
We need to go do some more digging on your stuff here.
All right, I'm gonna get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, back away slowly.
Thanks for your time, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We'll be on top of your shipment.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it could be that it just got lost on the cargo deck. I don't know, but I'd like to get it back soon.
Absolutely. Where are we going?
Find his fucking shipment.
Yeah, I feel bad that we forgot about his stuff.
We're the best spies ever.
Woo!
We're detectives, not spies.
I'm a spy.
I'm not. I'm a scientist.
I'm an explorer. Alright, let's see. So, where would we go to ask about, so should we go back to the cargo deck to ask about his shipment?
Should we report what's his face missing?
Yeah.
Burnt sack.
Burnt sack. Burnt sack missing.
I can't remember his name for the life of me, so it's...
It is a time-honored paper and dice tradition to just mangle the
Mutilate.
names that the DM probably spent a lot of time working
It's
on.
Burnstock. Burnstock.
It's definitely
Berzantak.
Bernie Sanders.
It's that sandal that hippies wear, whatever.
Burnt sack.
Birkenstock.
Burnkenstack.
Did you all know Bernie Sanders is missing?
Burt Reynolds is gone. We should... We definitely... We need to report... We need to report...
What do we need to do?
So we're going back down to the cargo decks.
We need to
So
report...
we've uncovered an illicit
Nothing.
drug trade,
Yes.
but we haven't found the ABM shipment. God damn it!
Nor if we found Mr. Birkenstock.
Oh fuck!
It's falling apart.
All right, rein it in. Rein it in.
All right. Let's
The
Back
stock first or missing persons report?
I mean,
I mean, the missing persons report seems more serious, like as like a detective
Right.
agency.
He
like,
mentioned Jif peanut butter. Like, I
Yeah.
think it can wait a second.
yeah.
Let's go.
Report.
See what's going on.
So we're going to report this missing persons. Where did he tell us again to go? To
was
report
to the
this.
Yeah,
Police.
you
The
can
Royal-
report that for the Royal Military Police. Like
Okay.
it's, you can probably report it over the radio.
We're going to the
All right.
Royal.
Well, but we don't know who all's like listening
we
can
to
say-
the radio. We're
Oh,
not going to
that's
do
true.
that over the radio.
Okay.
We're going in person.
All right.
So we're going to go to the Royal Military Popo and report that
How
Birkenstock is
about
missing.
this? How about we there's been a report that he hasn't been seen for 5 days, and
Mhm.
we're looking for him.
We're reporting.
But
Or is
also,
You could just simply request a health and wellness check. I mean, you know his quarters are not there, but
yeah, let's do that.
yeah, we should let them know that
But
he hasn't
we
been
knew there
seen
was
in 5
tape.
days.
There was tape in his
Police tape.
apartment,
Yeah.
so they may already know that.
But also, what's his face? Rushnock?
Oh yeah, so there was.
Rushnock has been waiting for 2 weeks on this guy. So it's hard to tell how long exactly, but
Yeah,
we should report that
But
to the
Yantok
police.
saw him 5 days ago.
Okay, alright. So we're gonna report 5 days ago. He was seen last. We should do a health and wellness check and like see what's up here.
Yantok, sorry.
So as you get there, they basically they take your report, and someone comes out of the back, and they're like, "Yeah, we've actually had this been reported in the past. We're currently searching the ship for him. He hasn't been seen. We were actually there was evidence in his apartment that he may have left the vessel, but we are currently investigating that. But thank you for the report."
So we did notice some of your tape there when we went to his quarters. Did you find anything of interest?
We conducted a health and wellness check. Who's the host at the restaurant
Yanto.
that he works?
Yanta.
Yeah, that's it. One of the other Europans. They called it in, and so we did a health and wellness check. He wasn't there, so that's when we had went ahead.
So what did you put up the tape for?
It's potentially a crime scene, but we're not sure
Why
yet
would you assume it's a crime scene?
because someone reported someone missing.
He was missing, but that doesn't mean that anything happened. He could have chosen to leave on a vacation.
Yeah, we're looking into
Who
that.
else reported he was missing?
The
Yanto.
the host, yeah.
Yanto.
When anybody goes on a vacation, do you always put up crime scene tape?
No, but when someone reports that person missing, we do.
But you didn't know that they were missing just because.
Someone made a report. We're looking into it. He may be missing. He may not. We don't know where the whereabouts are. He may have left the ship, but we're looking into it.
Can we do an insight check on him?
So, do we trust the Royal Military Police?
I don't know.
Like, do we have any reason to trust them or not to trust them? Because we could
Not
mention,
yet. I mean,
Because we could
Yeah,
mention
13.
the
in
5.
character we don't.
Yeah, I mean, he's just telling you like someone filed a report. They're looking into it. They don't have a conclusion yet.
All right.
But outside the outside of his shop, right? There was that scene that we were involved in.
That wasn't outside of his shop.
It
That was
wasn't.
in a different location.
Okay, right.
That was outside where you were getting food.
And you didn't find anything suspicious in the apartment. You just put the crime tape up as a precaution.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
there anything else we can ask here while we're here? Because we're a military assistant operation.
We should ask somebody about his package.
Yeah, for sure.
Ask him about the package.
About the Air Vice Marshal's package. But is that this guy or?
I don't know if he's.
No, we should go back down. I mean, we could go to the cargo. We go to the cargo deck. We don't know who these two other people are yet.
Max Frum and
Shit,
But
we should have
he
asked
might.
him. We should have
Corporal-
asked him who those people were.
Amaya
Why don't
Sutton,
we ask the cop guy who these people are?
the marshal.
Why would he know?
Because they're like the cops of the station. They might know who these people are.
All right.
So we have a listing of potential, contacts about the thing we're investigating, and we thought maybe you might know about these people. Have you heard of a Max Frum?
Doesn't ring any bells.
And nowhere on the ship?
Don't know.
Corporal Amaya Sutton?
Nope. Sounds like something you should check in with military command.
Alright.
No, this is the police, the station police.
Okay.
Station police?
Yeah, the Royal Military Police. They're like the UK's contribution to policing the mission.
And they don't know any of these people.
Doesn't sound like they
Who
know
were
much.
they?
Like
Come on.
5,000 people on board, man.
That's a small town. You know stuff. You know things. Just saying.
Clearly he doesn't know anything.
He knows nothing.
Everybody, I'm just gonna be like, what would you say you
You
do
do
here?
Jon Snow.
Alright.
Okay.
Back to the.
We're not going back to
We're
the,
just running
to
circles
the
here.
Air Vice
Yeah, we're
Marshal.
totally
No, no.
in circles. Who knows what the heck we're doing?
I mean, you would have noticed that Amaya Sutton is the one who actually signed the witness affidavit on your search warrant.
Oh, we would have, would we?
Potentially.
Amaya Sutton.
Earth person. Earthoid.
All right, well, let's
Earthenware.
go
Back
find
to
Amaya
our
Sutton.
office, the cat office, right?
Hmm?
Is that where the
No, she actually no, she's associated with
So obviously, like the judicial, like
The Air Vice
they're
Marshal.
signing warrants.
yeah, it's all kind of like a military justice situation. There's no like Earth law that governs what's happening on this. So because it's a cooperative military
Right.
venture, they're all
Right.
kind of operating under.
What are we gonna ask her? Him? Her?
That's up to you. I mean,
It's just, she's just
I'm
one
asking
of our
them.
known contacts. Like, that's all. We might ask about.
So we ask about the shipment. We ask about. I mean, we could
If
ask
she's-
anything we know. I mean, is she aware that there have been Venusians on the ship?
The kerfluffle. Would she know anything about that? Like why they were running with goods or,
Who's investigating that?
you don't know.
Oh.
I mean, the military.
The
police.
ABM
If she
said.
knows where, if she
No,
They
knows
were
the,
where,
investigating
military
that.
police were
if she
investigating.
knows where Bernie Sanders.
Are we? And that's where we are.
I feel like we're.
So,
Getting
have you
goosebumps,
guys made
but-
any progress on the incident that happened in front of the? Was it the Jabberwocky?
Yeah.
In front of the Jabberwocky this morning.
No, we gave chase, and they actually made it on board a vessel, and they made it off station before we could get to them. You were there. There's that poison cloud.
Yeah.
You're in the report.
But you all never apprehended anybody.
No, they made it off the station.
Video surveillance doesn't exist in the time period, right?
No. Soft no,
Audio surveillance.
potentially.
Any recordings from one of the depots around there?
I mean, they're not like
Shops?
they don't have like microphones out. They're not just like constantly recording stuff. Like that would be expensive storage wise and production.
Are there areas of the ship where they do constantly monitor? Like,
Or their
I don't think
suits?
so.
Do they have
No, okay.
mics on their suits?
okay, fair.
What
Let's
do you
go
do
back
here?
To well,
What would you say we do?
Yeah. Wander in circles.
Run around with our thumbs up our
let's
asses.
go find Amaya Sutton. So she's the one who signed the orders. So is it maybe back?
She was the witness statement that got the warrant signed. So like the warrant is approved by the Air Vice Marshal, but she was the witness who signed the affidavit that a crime was potentially committed.
All right, let's go. Okay, let's go find her.
So where would we go?
She actually works in the command module. So you guys just kind of bopping back around.
Sweet.
But she's
That's
easy
my
to find.
favorite. Okay.
We should have.
It's like so. We explained to her who we are. Like we're with the CAT agency. I understand that
you in character?
Yeah, talking to her, right? That you provided the affidavit for a search warrant to find the AVM's package.
Yeah. I was actually moving it when it was taken.
Who was it taken by?
I don't know. I got hit in the head. But I was near. Where's that? We were moving it through. Oh, wow. We were moving it through the hallways, and we were near that Japanese joint.
Izakaya's?
Yeah. This was 2 nights ago. It's late, so
okay.
2 nights. But yeah, I mean, I got attacked. I went to the med bay. You know, they gave me the typical aspirin and water, sent me home.
Told you to change your staff.
Yeah. You know how those medical doctors are.
Yeah, that's super helpful.
And you didn't get any information about who or what was trailing you?
No, it came out of nowhere. I got hit, and
Where did you pick it up?
See you?
Where did you pick it up?
Oh, we got it from it was from the Earthbound shipments, and we were bringing it to the Air Vice Marshal.
So you bought it from the cargo bag?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an office building, not an office building, like there's a room down near Earth received shipments, and they check in all that stuff. So there's some deck chief. His name's Jones. Jones. He works down there.
You know, is that the guy we talked to? Do we know?
That's not the guy you talked to.
Oh, okay.
Jones.
Who else knew that you were going down there to pick up a shipment for the?
I don't know. We just got the order. We came in one night. We just got the order to bring up a box to the Air Vice Marshal, and no one tells me who says what.
Who was you?
It was me, and there was one other airman.
Maybe Max.
No, I don't know Max.
Another airman. You don't remember his name? You work with him?
Yeah, no. Sorry, I got a little bit of a headache. What's that guy's name?
Concussion.
Yo.
That's understandable.
Jim something?
Jim Bean. Jim Bean.
Yes. That would be a funnier reason to have a headache.
It was stolen or embezzled. It tends to show a crime with a punishment exceeding what is violence.
Was Jim also hit over the head during this altercation, or was it just you?
I don't know. Either.
Have you seen Jim since?
Now that you mention it, I haven't.
What does Jim look like?
He's got like dark hair, dark eyes.
Human.
Just a dark guy?
Yeah.
Human.
Standard type.
Have you known Jim for long?
No, I just he just works in some other division.
So how did y'all get paired together?
I just had the order handed to me. He was there with the box when I got there and offered to help carry it.
And do you know where he came from? Was he part of the shipping, the cargo crew, or?
Yeah, he was dressed like a cargo crew.
Cargo crew?
Yeah, just regular work uniforms. Looked like a deck guy.
Say his name was Jim, you think?
Yeah, Jim something. I don't remember what it was.
And you picked him up.
He was with the box. He just offered to help carry it. It was heavy.
From near Earth Receive.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was heavy.
And
So you didn't sign for the box?
No, that's not really a thing. He just asked for it to be brought up. It had already been accounted for. I mean, I guess I don't know.
And it didn't get here.
I'm not a deck person. Huh?
And the shipment didn't get here, so Jim clearly didn't do his job.
I mean, we were carrying it. We got attacked and it was stolen.
But you're sure that Jim got attacked?
I mean, I assume.
She knows nothing.
We have we're interviewing another Jon Snow here.
Is there anything else you can tell us about the situation?
Nah, that's all I got.
Well, thank you. You've been very helpful.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, I'm gonna jet to the med bay and find out if anybody came in with Corporal Amaya.
Or if she even checked into the med bay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check that out. If you guys want to run down to the office,
Or
the cargo.
we gotta find out if they know Jim, if he signed for something.
Yeah, we have
I
to go
assume
back
that
to
you
actually-
have to sign for something to take it.
I mean, yeah, they never gave her any paperwork. She got an order, come pick up this box, take it here. So she showed up to pick up the box, take it there.
She didn't. We have a number for the box.
We should go down
so
and
we need to go take that number and apprehend.
Yeah, I'll meet you guys down there.
Okay.
So I'm gonna jet over to the
Yes.
and find super Miss Helpful or Mr. Helpful.
Yeah.
And be like, do you keep records of people that come in that you give aspirin to?
Oh yeah.
All right. So 2 nights ago.
Military loves records.
All right. So 2 nights ago, there was a
He
corporal.
kind of snaps over and calls over, like someone who's actually going to do work.
All right. So two nights ago, there was a Corporal Amaya that came in. She was attacked. Said you gave her some aspirin, sent her on her way.
Yeah, go check, see if you can pull the records from then. And he's just kind of like hanging out. Comes back and, yeah, Sutton, Amaya type. Yeah, she was here.
Yeah. Well, did anybody come in with her?
She was brought in by a couple of corpsmen. But no, just her.
Just her. So no one else.
She was the only patient.
Okay. All right. Thanks for your help.
Yeah.
So we are down at the cargo bay.
Uh-huh.
And so we're going to the Earth receive section.
And go to whoever the person is handling that with the shipment number.
We're wanting to talk to Jones. So yeah.
Ask its whereabouts.
Yeah, so the receiving chief is Jones, so he's hanging out there.
Okay. So hello, Mr. Jones. We are here to talk to you about some cargo. We have a number here that was received recently that may have gone missing.
Oh, missing cargo. That sounds important. Yeah, let me see that number.
Here you go.
He grabs it and he goes, I'll go check. And heads into a back room.
I don't know when. Like I'm heading down, so just let me know when the approximate time when I would show up.
Yeah, in a few minutes.
Give me some more one while we're waiting on you.
I can do that.
Are there any other characters standing here at the desk, or?
No, it was over there. You can hear some movement in the back, and he's like, "Oh, I think I found what you're looking for."
Excellent.
What?
He comes around the door frame, and you see he raises a firearm. So
Oh no.
roll for initiative.
Come on, man.
What do we add?
Richard, you're
to my
gonna come in on
initiative?
the second round.
What do
Never split the party.
What do I add? To
You
my...
offered.
Your initiative.
That was for me.
It's your
That
dex-
was
your dex
Oh,
bonus.
okay.
that was me yelling at myself.
Oh,
It figures. It fucking figures.
17.
14 for me.
Kevin's probably just standing around waiting for us to split the party.
No, just surprise you. So first is Terry, Heather, and then Jones. So you actually, he's
This is Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's coming around the door
We knew
frame.
that.
Did we?
He's coming around the door frame with a rifle, and so like as he's coming around, you see it, and so you've got the jump. So you got
Okay.
the first action.
So, got a rifle. So maybe I take my whip and I try to I whip at his
And say
rifle.
nay nay.
Yes.
Come on now.
You only get one initiative at a time.
Don't take time to do the stanky leg though.
So are you trying to disarm him with the whip,
Yes.
or just hit him?
I'm trying to whip the rifle out of his hand.
Make an attack roll for that.
Okay. 1 to like the 1d4, or do
No,
I
no,
do
no.
like
20.
thank you. 11 plus what?
Your dex.
Yeah,
you should have like an attack
The number
modifier.
after the weapon.
Oh, okay, so 14.
Okay, that'll actually make contact with the rifle. So it's not enough to make him drop it, but it's enough to like knock him back, and he's gonna basically have like a stun round.
Okay.
Is that me next?
You're next.
All right. So how close is he to us?
Within like 12 feet or so. It's like a doorway right behind the desk.
All right. So I'm gonna use my disintegration pistol and shoot at this mofo.
Anything less than that? No.
A staff. That's it. Staff or pistol.
Well, even though it sounds imposing, remember it doesn't just automatically disintegrate him.
Right.
Well, you know the phrase, spare the staff, melt him with acid.
That's how I roll. Listen, they melted my planet with acid, so just saying.
She's out for
Now
blood.
you're open.
Okay, so that's probably successful. So that is +1, 18 to hit.
Okay, yeah, you definitely hit.
So that's
Roll for damage.
D6.
Please don't kill him. Please don't kill him.
5 acid damage.
Okay. He's got some big wounds and scratches. He's not looking too well.
Ouchies.
So he's taking a stun round. At this point, Richard is going to come in. We'll all roll for initiative for the second round again.
We're fighting this guy. It's Jones.
Maybe-
What the hell's going on?
It's Jones.
Maybe if we could tie him up and ask him questions, that would be better.
He came at us with
Oh, wait,
a
I gotta
gun.
roll.
He did. He knows some shit.
Ooh! Modified 20.
Modified 20.
2.
My
What's
dex
your,
is 16.
I got
What?
4.
what's your dex?
Dex,
Dex 5.
13.
What was yours, Terry?
5.
Modified 5 or?
Yep.
Ooh!
That happens. Alright.
So Richard, you walk in and you're like, "What's going on?" But you still get to go first for some reason.
I would like to try
Oh,
to
pew,
stun.
pew, pew.
I would like to try to stun him with my pistol.
Okay. The stun setting has a special rule for
It's a
it.
DC. It's a DC save. You have to look up the equipment table. Sorry, I should have had that marked.
Right here.
Okay. Look up the.
I don't know what.
If you flip past the weapons, there's a stun setting right there near the bottom. Stun
Recharge
setting.
batteries.
Up. Move up a
Amount
little.
of reload
A little
is-
more.
stun setting.
Right there. Stun setting.
As a bonus action, this weapon can be set to inflict a stun effect DC 13 instead of regular damage.
So that means you have a DC 13.
He has to make a DC 13.
Yeah.
Whenever you make an success, we succeed on it. Okay, that's lethal force. So stun DC. Sorry, I realized you read it, but I wasn't listening to you read it. Can you read it again?
Oh, yeah.
Did you close it?
Yeah. Okay.
That's the page past the weapons. There you go.
As a bonus action, this weapon can be set to inflict a stun effect DC 13.
Oh, do I have to attack with it and then stun?
Like he makes
I
a
would assume
save.
So you make a successful attack, and then the target makes a Constitution saving throw.
So I do have to attack first.
Yes.
I got it. Sorry. Okay. I will do that then. Ooh. Oh yeah, that is a modified 20.
Okay. He rolled a 15, and yeah, so that works.
Okay. So I want to stun him.
So you do 1d6. He gains the stun condition for 1d6 rounds. So
Okay.
roll a d6.
Yes, I can do that. 5.
Oh, cool. That's 5 rounds.
I'm unclear what stun means.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up for you.
Okay. If it knocks him out, or if we can question him now, or we can tie him up and wait 5
Apprehend
rounds.
him.
Yeah.
I got a whip. You can tie him up with
A
it.
stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can speak only falteringly. The creature automatically fails strength and dex saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage.
So tie him up.
he automatically fails strength saves. So yeah, let's tie him up.
Yeah, so he would automatically fail a grapple or
Ooh,
something.
I have both plant matter rope and metal cable rope in case.
Excellent.
He's difficult.
Let's. Is this a guy a human? What is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So he's a human. Let's just tie him up.
So I grab a hold of his hand, and I'm just like, I'm here for you. I know that you tried to attack us, and that we attacked you back, but I'm here for you, and just, I don't want you to die.
Just trying to get 5 minutes skin contact.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you just sit on him and say, "Fuck it," just like.
Aggressive
Whoa.
cuddling continues.
Yeah. Just
Follow me!
like I want to see like a drunk Terry cut like, hey, like just
So
I'm not
you guys
attempted.
basically have a hostage now.
Yes. All right, we need some
He
information.
shot at us, though.
Yeah.
So we need some information for sure.
This fucker has the information we need.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Do we take him to the?
I'm gonna question him
We'll
first.
just question him right now. What do you know about this shipment that you're not telling us?
So the sun condition, he can speak falteringly, but he's not going to cooperate
Yeah.
with that at this point. So he's just going to kind of grunt and make noises. So any kind of that sort of questioning is
It's
probably
not
not
gonna
going to elicit a result, at least until.
Can we
5
like
rounds goes
go
by.
back and look
I
for the
have-
shipment in the room?
So you maybe I'm just gonna hold his hand if you guys want to go search.
Can we like
Give me-
search for the goods in
give me-
here?
Yeah, you definitely could go back in the back room
Give me
where he
5
was.
minutes.
I'm gonna go do that like right now.
Okay.
Meow.
How about I'm gonna try all right, fuck it. I'm gonna make a deception check. I'm gonna try to convince him that I know what was in the box, like what was really in the box, and that he needs to tell me where it is if he knows what's good for him.
Okay.
Like
How
no,
bad?
that's a 7.
So what's that failure look like, Richard?
Uh,
Go ahead and role play it out for us.
I'm just like in my I pull out my spy novel bravado and I'm like, listen, we know what was in the box. You tell us what we need to know.
And I look at you and I say, shh, go help her.
Fine.
He's still stunned, so he's like.
Let's go look and get that shipment, man.
All right.
Like,
He doesn't know nothing, but he can crush your skull if he wants to.
All right. So
we're going in the back room.
point of order. The room has the shipments in it, or it's just a records room.
This actually is an attached room that contains both records and some shipments.
Okay. And we have the number. Is it reasonably organized? Like you could tell where something
Yes.
is. Okay. So we're gonna look.
Mhm.
Okay.
But
I'm
be
back in.
stealthy.
Hey. So
The records are organized. It's not necessarily clear how the shipments are organized. There's not like, because the numbers may change with some regularity.
Right.
So from someone not familiar with that
so
organization,
we need to find the record first.
that's
and then,
not clear. Yes,
and then
the
it'll
record
tell you
would
what
probably
bin.
point you to like
But is there
stall
anybody else?
Are you
A675.
alone?
Yeah, is there anybody else in here?
You will have to look.
Okay.
I would like, and I.
We're gonna scout the room.
Yes.
He's gonna look for the package, and I'm gonna look for people.
All
I'm
right.
still holding this guy's hand.
Investigation.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Sure. If you guys are working together, you can pull advantage.
I mean, we're doing separate tasks together.
Well, how are you going to do it?
Yeah, whatever. That was a 5. So it's garbage.
So 15 plus 6 is 21.
Yeah, you have the number. It's pretty. It's much easier than 16 to or even 21 to find it. So you're able to find it, and it
But
points
are you
you.
not
I was
perceiving- what are you
looking
perceiving for
for-
other people.
Mine's.
Yeah.
I have an 11. I'm looking for the paper. I'm looking for the
you,
records.
you do find the paper. Sorry, I
Okay.
misunderstood what you were doing.
I'm looking to like make sure that we can go and get the thing, and that we're not going to be followed, and that there aren't people back here. Like,
There's no one else in the storeroom after you do a quick search.
okay, all right.
So I found the number and we found the paper,
Yes.
and it tells us what bin.
It tells you where it would have been. That was some time ago, so things have moved and changed. So the paper doesn't lead you, specifically to a spot that's useful now, but you can go and look at that spot. if
But
you
we're
ever
looking
find
at all around the room to see if
And the
he's
paper-
stocked it somewhere else. Like if he's stashed it in a place that it should not be.
Well, first let's go check and see where it was.
Yeah, it was in just a standard receiving kind of pile. So everything's kind of there's like markings on the floor that have different this is like bin A72, bin B643, whatever, and they're all laid out that way. So that was like a pallet location basically, and so there's still other stuff on that pallet, but some time has passed, so it's not there anymore.
Okay. So what else can we tell? What else can we look for back here?
You guys you'll have to just basically do a manual search of the room,
Okay.
That's okay. So we have the number of the package.
Mhm. so you know what the box should be stamped with.
Right, and so I'm looking.
Manual search.
Yep.
So while you guys do that, I'm gonna pop back to Terry real
Yep.
quick.
You guys go that way. I'll go this way.
Has it been 5 minutes?
It's close to.
Okay.
So as you start, you can tell that he's, even though he's stunned, he's starting to come out of it because it's been, those 5 rounds.
And my pheromones are working.
But yes, that stuff's starting to seep in. But at the same time, military police come piling through the door.
Cool.
And they're coming in fast.
Fellas, we may need some help, or maybe we we should get the fuck out of here.
Well, but they're piling it. Sorry, I'm leaving you do what you want to do.
I mean, I don't know what to do. So, I'm gonna ask Jones. Why are they coming in?
So they're spilling in, and as they come in, they form a stack. They're clearing the room, and then finally you see someone else come in at sort of the last one in, and he raises a rifle and he shoots Jones right in the forehead.
Well, that's a bummer.
At the same time that you can hear them coming in, you locate the box.
Okay, so I get out my pistol. Because I don't know what else to do.
Pause for that. You guys locate the box.
All right, so
How big is it?
It's about this wide and maybe that deep.
So not small enough that I could stick it in a backpack.
So
or
this.
So
So we found this. So we're like, wait a minute. If Jones gave, or Jim, if Jim gave Amaya a package, and it was supposed to be the ABM's package, then this should have some peanut butter in it. I'm gonna
Crack my baby open.
That's foolproof.
I have enhanced smell. I'm gonna see if I can smell any peanut butter.
You don't.
I don't.
Can we crack it open?
We should check and see what's in here.
Okay.
So as you kind of pry open the lid, you hear the shot go off from the other room. And you've seen the Europans. They're like 6.5, 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
You've never seen a Europan folded up and stuffed into a crate until today.
Oh fuck.
Is it alive?
Oh, it's
No.
it's Birkenstock.
Oh.
So you crack that open, find the corpse of Birkenstock. Hear Jim die,
Hashtag Bernie Sanders.
and that's where we're gonna end for the evening.
Oh shit.
Come on.
That's pretty good. We found Birkenstock.
We found Burnstack.
Bernie
Burnstack.
Sanders.
Burnt Reynolds. Burnstock.
We are not the bullshit detective agency. We're the eventually come around to finding some shit agency.
So thanks everyone for tuning in. This has been the first episode, Sashimi To Go, of Rocket Age. We're Let's Play Games West Virginia. We've got something going on every night of the week. There should be a ticker tape at the bottom of your screen.
Not
Feel
a
free
parade.
to hop back in and tune in, say hey to one of our other shows. And thanks for tuning in to it, guys.
If you enjoyed this tonight, we will be back with part 2
Yep, 2 weeks from
in
tonight.
2 weeks from tonight. So, and 2 Saturdays, come and check it out if you liked it and hang out with us some more.
Find out what happened to Burnstack.
Bernie Sanders.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.